Shivs.
What's this? Hey, how you going? I'm Lucien Black.
Brah. Drop Bear, what's up?
Here's Skulka.
And this is our brand new podcast called Bear Trap. I'd like to introduce my co-host, Mr. Drop Bear.
Mr. Drop Bear, yeah.
And our special guest today is Skulka, my brother from another mother.
Howdy, howdy.
So, this is our first episode.
Yep.
Yeah.
A bit of a learning curve.
Bit of a learning curve.
Yeah,
Bear with us.
figuring it out, you know.
Got
Bear with us.
multiple cameras. And, yeah, we're going to kick this off, eh?
Yeah.
There's
One there. There's one there.
There's one there. There's
One
one
back
there.
there.
There's one back there.
We've got
Like
like
bloody,
lights and
like hot ones, you know? There's a camera. There's a camera. There's a camera. Tell everybody about what you going on in your life.
Yeah, that's a dream, bro.
yeah. So what's going on in your life, Skulka?
Oh, this is for when we're having flashbacks, is it?
Yeah, pretty much, yeah. I haven't sussed out all the buttons yet, but believe me, I will. Anyway.
In air horn.
Absolutely.
Da-na-na-na-na.
We'll update that later.
Some claps
Anyway,
and
I'd like to
screams.
introduce my brother from another mother, FTS alumni,
Represent.
the other half of the studio, Mr. Skulka.
How's it going, team? Pleasure to be here. Thank you for getting us on, especially the first one. I feel very honoured.
We're in the...
I feel very official too, man. Like usually,
Yeah, pretty much.
this.
It's pretty set up. It's pretty hectic.
Yeah.
Set up. I think next time we'll have to sort a green screen out and we can look like we're in Hawaii or some shit.
Yeah, fuck yeah.
Go down that Action Bronson road, bro.
Just get like sharks
yeah.
behind us and fucking attacking us.
Whoa,
Yeah.
That
It's,
action,
oh shit. Yeah.
that,
It's
action,
Godzilla.
Fuck yeah.
that Action Bronson show, that Aliens one they had.
Dude, that was a wild concept, man. Like I watched that. I remember watching that back in the day. You know, pretty litty as well. And I'm just sitting there like in that mindset. I'm like, this is a fucking great concept. I'm like, but how I would love to have been in the room for that pitch.
Oh, of course.
For him to be sitting with Vice, like
I haven't even
like,
seen it, eh?
You've not seen it?
Dude,
Yeah,
they've
it's
got
wild. You know what it's
mushrooms and
about, right?
What is it?
Oh.
So literally, like
watched-
Vice paid him. This is the wildest shit. Vice just went, yeah, whatever, man. Here's some money, right? So what he
So
did,
just do what you want.
he got this big ass
I
room
could wish.
with like a cyclorama, like a full, you know how it's like the green screen, but it goes down in
yeah,
the
it's got
ground.
like the
So
curve
it's,
in the ground, so there's no...
you know what I mean? So there's no lines.
Oh right, yeah.
Right,
No
literally.
shadows.
So
and
it
shit.
was a
Yeah.
full green screen environment.
Cyclorama, yeah.
And then he just had these couches and just coffee tables. It looked like he'd pulled them out of his fucking, like, his nonna's house. Like, you know what I mean? Like, they were
Yeah.
proper, like, old woggy. They may as well have had, like, the plastic protectors over the couches. You know what I mean? Like, it's
I feel like shows like that, it always looks like they've just dragged it out from somewhere, but someone spent
Yeah.
weeks trying to find the perfect
oh, yeah,
thing.
yeah.
yeah,
But it was
yeah.
nice pieces of furniture, but they were garish, you know what I mean? It's like what you'd see, like...
I reckon
there's-
he got it off his Zia or something.
Yeah, you know what I mean?
You know
Like-
what I mean? Like, he's just like, oh, look, Zia.
shipped over direct from
this
Albania
couch,
or some
yeah,
shit, you know?
This,
Like,
this couch.
but they'd all sit around, so it'd be like him, Body, like Al, and like Mayhem, yeah, and then they'd always have like a producer like Knowledge or someone just on the decks with like literally like a trestle table with turntables and a MPC and that, and then the basketball ring in the back corner,
It's
and
just
then
random.
the table was just full of dabs, like rolling trays.
$700
every-
bongs. And
like everything you could imagine, like weed accoutrement, all laid out in front, and
so
then they
just
had a
sat
little
around
telly.
getting stoned on
Well,
a
no,
green
but this is
screen.
the premise. They had a little telly in the corner,
Yeah.
right, and everyone's watching the TV, and they're playing episodes
Of aliens?
of Ancient Aliens from
Ancient
Discovery
Aliens.
Channel, right, or History Channel.
Oh, mate, with the hair, you know? Like,
Yeah.
Aliens, that
Aliens,
Greek
yeah,
guy.
that
Yeah.
whole
So
meme.
the whole premise was it's called Action Bronson and Friends. What was it like travels through the universe or something?
Yeah.
And they literally sit there and kind of stand around, get high. They'll order in food. They'll get like catering in. Sometimes they get like Filipino girls from the nail salon down the road to come and give them pedicures while they're sitting. And then they have
Middle of
like
the show,
guests,
bro.
guests to just come in, like Tyler the Creator would just roll in and be like, "What's up, team?" And then you'd be like, "Oh, have you seen this episode?"
I feel like you have to be stoned to enjoy this by the sounds of it.
You kind of do. I mean, like,
Being
I
that I,
don't know
smoke
if
much
I've watched
weed
the
anymore.
episode.
Being that I don't smoke much weed anymore, I don't know if I
Look,
enjoy
you could
that
be the
one.
guinea
More of
pig.
a-
You could be the test
We'll
audience,
find out.
all right? You
We'll
can tell me
find
if
out.
it's trash or not. But
Yeah.
like the fact that he got away with doing that and paid well for just literally,
Well, fuck, that's delicious is coming back.
yeah. Well, no, so he's been funding that. So
That
he
was
had a
that
big-
was his cooking show.
that
eh?
was the cooking show. I got the book and stuff.
I
It's
saw a
pretty well
mad
booked.
recipe for like a chicken palmy made with like the crumbed, like broken up Doritos.
Yeah,
and shit.
dude. Yeah, and it's the ranch, the cool ranch Doritos
Yeah,
on that
fuck
shit.
yeah.
Yeah, I love that book, man. The first recipe in that book is this is my favorite meal. So if I've got a cookbook, this is how I'm gonna open it up.
Yeah.
was it Crispix and milk eaten over the sink in like a plastic bowl.
And that's the recipe. Fuck, yeah, no.
I was like, yeah, no.
Never actually seen the book, but I've seen it advertised. He also did some stuff with that, and that's what I reckon.
Yeah.
Did they work?
Yeah,
they
did. I think they did like an episode together or something.
No shit.
Yeah, he did one with MGK. I know he did one.
He did one with MGK. He'd done a bunch with Briggs.
I wouldn't be surprised.
Him and Briggs are tight.
Yeah. They did too.
They did a bunch together that was pretty sick. They always do a Christmas one.
You and Beck went, didn't you?
Me and Beck went and saw Nats. Yeah. That was killer. Shout outs to Beck Dawson on
Yo.
my album. She's an awesome local
Moody
singer.
Alice.
Beck Dawson, Moody Alice is the group. Yeah, her and her
check
old man.
that,
They're good.
Mark.
But
Fuck yeah, local music, eh?
fuck yeah, local music. I think
So,
that's the crux of it,
I'm
right?
gonna-
Let's wind it back down.
I'm gonna interrupt now.
Yeah.
As
Tangential.
the voice of reasons. Now I need to know
When
that
does
word
that
again.
happen?
What's it called? Hyphens.
A hyphen, yeah.
Hyphens, okay.
Or dash, whatever you want.
So we're proudly sponsored today by Kroc-D.
Look at that. Hold on, we got the camera.
KROC-D.
Hyphens D.
shit.
I have.
We got the Croc skull logo on the arm. It's a patch. So patch, man. You don't find that on
We've
most
got the
normal
Flytrap Studios.
These are limited
special.
run. Yeah, these are
garments.
limited run.
collabo.
They probably be gone by the time you go try and order one, but still
Well-
try and order one.
Well, no. Just try. Keep
I'm
trying.
gonna
I'm still
get-
going to get mine sorted.
So K. Is it K apostrophe?
No. KROC hyphen D.
Yeah.
Remember the name.
Yeah.
Remember the name.
Apostrophe.
Boys out of Rockingham, absolutely
Fucking
crushing
Italians, dude.
You know what I mean? Yeah.
Absolutely crushing it.
It's not my strong suit, mate. But
What,
anyway,
English-
English is
English
fucking.
yeah, the apostrophes, mate. You know what I'm talking
That's
about?
why he makes beats.
Yes. Yeah, I know.
Speaking of beats,
Yeah.
Yes.
when are you going to make our? We need
Well,
a
that
theme
is the
song.
whole
Need an
premise
intro
of this
song.
podcast because it's I'm sort of well, if we're going to get into it about me, then yeah, I'm
Yeah, well, Fuck, it's the first episode.
so
Let's hear something
me
about the
and my brother
hosts.
Skulka, I pretty much started Flytrap Studios in 2017.
I think, yeah, man, I got followed by this cunt randomly.
Yeah.
And you came along to a gig with your cuz, who I
Yes,
knew.
that's right, yeah,
Friend
yeah.
of a friend
Friend
of a
of a
friend,
friend,
ex-housemate's ex-wife or some shit. Cuz of his. Started bringing him along to shows, and then this cat was following me. I was like, oh, yeah, Flytrap Studios, interesting. I don't know what this is about. Okay.
Yeah, I was studying at the time, yeah.
And I was just, SAE, right? Yeah. And I was getting this cat liking all my shit. I'm like, oh, who's this guy? Who's this Lucien Black fella? And then you come along to one of my launches at 459, I think. That was when I first met you.
Yeah, that was,
At, I think it was the
Hip-hop-
Verbal Ammunition. launch.
No, it was verbal ammunition. Yeah, it was.
And there was like 10 people there.
Yeah, no, it was dope.
Yay!
Including the artists
look,
and the
it's-
sound guy. Nah, it was good fun. I
didn't put two and two together because we spoke about a year and a bit
Yeah.
before
Like,
because
we
you had
chatted.
troubles with his car.
Oh, Vero, because of...
the Barina.
that little
shit you had,
poxy
you know?
Barina, little pox
So he's
box
ringing me
bucket.
up and he goes, look, my car's fucked and this and that. So we've got a couple of options, you know. I said, just bring it in.
Yeah.
He's like, oh, look, I don't know. And this, I said, look, just bring it in. We'll fix it up or we'll fucking
it off.
strip it and wreck it and
Yeah.
whatever, you know, like if
It was the electrics. The
was
electrics
electrics,
fucked.
yeah.
Because I'd said to a mate,
BCM,
my
no, it's
electrics.
BCM fault.
It was
Fuck,
indeed,
I don't
yeah.
remember Shit.
Yeah.
But then I didn't need to because I was using the old man's car.
That's right.
So how
So I
long
just
you guys
fucked
known
it.
each other then?
Well, going on for...
5 years?
Hold on, what are you saying? 2017?
17.
You do the math, bro. I'm ADD. I don't know how to do math.
17, 18, 19. Yeah.
No, 6 years.
No, 6
Five,
years.
yeah, about 5, 6 years.
Yeah, fucking hell. That's a while now.
Yeah.
And then like
Hot minute.
yeah. No, I just so I was studying at SAE and fucking I didn't even put two and two together until we sort of met. I'm like,
Yeah,
it's like,
yeah.
blah, blah,
And then I
blah,
went,
blah.
oh, hold on.
Yeah.
Old mate, fucking Michael.
Yeah.
You're his cousin.
Yeah.
That's,
No,
okay.
yeah, blah,
and
blah,
then
blah,
the
blah.
circle connected. And I'm like, no shit. Okay,
Do you
then
remember
start
how
out-
I met you, Skulka?
I'm guessing at a gig
Yeah.
somewhere. Was I fuck-eyed?
Absolutely.
Yeah, probably.
Most likely. I was pretty fuck-eyed too, but I do actually remember this was back when you were working with Wordplay magazine.
No shit, yes.
Yeah,
When I
well,
was
I think it was-
co-editing and then ended up editing it for a minute. Yeah,
I think it might have been when we did the bipolar show for Downside.
Yes, and
and
we
then
came and covered it, right? And did
Yeah,
some
and,
shots.
and
we were-
then you came up to me and fucking gave me a card and said, "Hey, love
let
to
us know
chat to
what
you."
happened. Yeah. Because I was
Yeah.
taking photos and that.
Nothing
I-
ever came of it because
Well, I mean, Wordplay got...
be cool to start another thing like that
It
again.
would
though.
really be
There
good
is
to see that.
There is.
Like,
at the
even
moment.
just
I mean, look, we
online.
got Rap Fox, who came out of Wordplay too. Like, was it Katie?
You got
they had
Serial
Katie
Music
Boss.
Magazine?
I think it was Katie Boss.
Serial Music Magazine's out
Yeah,
there now.
Serial.
But he's covering all genres.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Serial. Yeah.
But like, shout outs. I'm pretty sure it's Katie DeVos. Oh, if I've got that wrong,
Rap
I
Fox?
apologise. But Rap Fox, check out Rap Fox, Perth chick who's been. She used to edit wordplay in its heyday,
And Gav.
and Gav Crossley too. But he's more of the radio stuff.
Yeah,
you
yeah,
know,
but
like,
still,
she's
he's
doing
still
the online mag
anything,
stuff.
anything that helps out the local scene. is always
Anything, man,
positive.
and that's what we're trying to do with wordplay. But we were a bit limited, like staffing.
That's what we're going to try and do with this podcast.
100%, and that's what we've been trying to do with Flytrap for a long time, man. Like we've got our own artists that we fucking like work with within our collective, like. You know,
Well, explain to them
like yours
Yay.
truly over here, mate. You know,
I'm not a rapper
and
though.
Byron.
I'm not a rapper. I
Not a
can't
rapper.
rap.
What are you?
I'm a shit rapper, bro.
He's trying the little yachty route, you know, when he loses in a battle. Not a rapper.
I'm a shit rapper, bro.
He's poxy, eh?
No biggie. WNK Radio.
WNK, you're listening.
Fuck, I'll put
You're
it-
listening to the
WNK.
Bear
Actually,
Trap podcast.
I am going to put a link in
Alright.
the comments about for the video for No Biggie
Yeah.
because that was fucking dope with that. In podcast.
Speaking of, any song we talk about throughout the podcast, we should have linked in the
Yeah, little
Yes.
snippet. We'll put a link in there, and even maybe when we fuck around with the edits, maybe just put a little.
All right, so
in the
before we go
background.
off topic, first name
Yeah.
Jay, middle name Danger, last name Skulka.
It's about to get stranger.
It's about to get stranger.
It will. It will.
So yeah,
Couple more of
That's
these.
an
It's
my
gonna
interesting-
get really
we,
weird.
we met, and then just basically I
Yeah.
fucking loved his shit, man. Like very lyrical, very fucking. I don't know. He's
Appreciate it.
a wordsmith, a modern day poet.
A wordsmith with one of the most interesting voices in rap.
My best mate.
Nah, that's not happening.
Me beer brew brother.
Yeah, we started brewing. We were brewing together for a hot minute there too. We
Yeah,
were going to have
fuck.
Flytrap beers for a bit.
Yeah,
You gotta,
that's good.
is it Twisties? Of course they're Twisties.
Dickhead.
Dickhead. It's
So
because I'm not used to drinking domestic beers.
Oh, you like the fucking...
Think crafty boys?
you
Nah, look,
crafty
I'm not a
boys.
snob.
So
I-
how
I
old are
drink
You
whatever's
are a
going.
snob,
You
mate.
boys,
You
boy.
are a fucking snob, mate.
what beer snob?
Yeah.
I can
I've
be.
just about enough of you, mate.
Yeah, get
I
out.
just had just about,
Get out.
Get
Podcast's finished.
Get out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We won't,
yeah, no,
we
so,
won't go on about our choice of beers here, mate.
Oh, mate, no, Melbourne Bitter. If you ever see this cat and you're out at a gig and you want to, you know,
Give him a blowy.
yeah, you know, go home and lick his bum off.
Well, that was quite convenient, wasn't it?
Just turned around.
Just
and-
be like,
Turn it
oh,
around.
they've got Melbourne Bitter on tap. He's fucking
the
yours.
Wembley.
There you
I
go, the
love
Wembley
you,
got him.
Wembley, yeah.
Yeah, Wembley Hotel, you're
Your
doing it
wings
right.
is shit, but your beer is good.
Anywho.
Anyway, so started hanging out.
Yeah.
Taking him to gigs and
Yeah, he was running me about. We were just doing things, and we had all these brainstorms. Eh, we were like,
Yeah.
okay, what can we do with this? We're gonna put some gigs on. At the time, I was doing some stuff with Coerce and one of my
Tomo.
shout outs, Coerce,
Shout outs, Coles.
fucking brother from another mother, mate. They're
killing it right now.
absolutely slaying it right now. If you haven't heard, man, get onto that. Look up Coerce, Spotify, everywhere. Fuck, man. I've been saying for years he should be well bigger than where he is, but
And he's starting to get there.
and he's starting to get there. What's going on with the sound there? Oh,
I'm
okay.
just sussing it out, bro.
It's all good. We're still figuring things
fiddling.
out a little.
He's
But,
always fiddling.
I'm always fiddling.
Always fiddling.
Alright,
I
so
remember that time when I met Luigi.
Yeah.
It seems like a decade ago.
It's about 6 years.
It's about 6 years ago, actually.
about half.
But yeah, no. So at the time, I was doing a bit of promoting and hosting and stuff with Hip Hop Hotel. So that was me, Luke, Coas, and Big Tomo. Shout outs to Big Tomo. Absolute.
I remember Hip Hop
absolute
Hotel.
lord.
I jumped on one of them.
Yeah,
didn't I?
you came and did a Hip Hop Hotel
Yeah,
with us. I'm
I
pretty
think
sure.
so. Yeah.
Was that an out of town?
That was
one?
just a drop. That was at where was it?
459.
The Herdsman.
At the Hurdy.
Oh,
No.
Yeah.
Okay, no.
that wasn't
That
for- that
predates
wasn't-
Hip Hop Hotel.
What was
so
that?
Let's go. Wind it back just a smidge. There we go. Way back.
Fuck, I'm a G with that button.
That's when Tomo, who I don't know if you're familiar with Big Tomo, the listeners out there, he's a long-time stalwart of the Perth music scene in general.
Shout out Tomo.
Doing his original band, Perth Legends.
And I had a jam with him at the end of the show. It was sick,
Yeah, so that's Midnight Mules. Shout out Midnight Mules, all of you boys. But yeah, so Tom's been promoting shows and open mics and things like that for a decade. Literally, he had his 10-year anniversary the other week. He started doing a foray into putting on some hip hop on because he saw a little niche in the market there that they'd fill in. So he was doing hip hop hijack, and that's where I first kind of started working with Tomo. I'd known him from uni from many years back, but I think that's where we may have first done shows together at the Hurdy.
I think that was when we first did shows together. Yeah,
Yeah.
for sure.
But
I think
then
maybe
probably-
we might have been on one of one of Shaker's old shout out Shaker,
Yeah,
one
shout
of
out to Rob
Shaker's old
Shaker.
shows together. I
Yeah,
think
potentially, yeah.
but we didn't really become friends until I think after that.
Yeah, after that Herding gig started hanging out. But yeah, so that was the Herdsman. So Hip Hop Hotel came out of me and Tomo kind of doing some stuff together, and then Luke jumping on board, and we started doing stuff out at like Jurien Bay. We did some at Bunbury, we did some up at Dongra. The whole idea was to
big
try and
gigs, eh?
take Perth hip hop out of town to some of the rural pubs and stuff. So that was going for a fair while. And look, it's not
They
dead.
love it out there.
It's not dead by any means, guys. It's just a little bit dormant at the moment. You know what I mean? Tom's got a lot of his shit going on with his tribute acts are fucking popping off. Band from Hell.
Oof.
We've got
Goes
Counterfeit is a Limp Bizkit one. Red Hot Chili Peppers is it the Peps?
The Peps, yeah.
Steven, what's the other one he's got now? Fucking Strokes as well. Come Down Machine.
Oh,
Dude's
yeah,
in like 6 bands plus his own acoustic shit. How the fuck
He
is he
still
going to
does
have
it
time to
And
do?
you've got a fucking child now.
And I've got a child now, so no, we're all time poor. But anyway, so that was Tomo. We were doing a Hip Hop Hotel.
Yep.
That started slowing down because all these other gigs were coming up.
Life is life.
And but we were discussing Flytrap Studios, and that kind of turned into what was it? It started out as what, having a go at putting on some
Well,
shows.
I started FTS more because I was studying my Bachelor of Audio at SA in Perth.
Yeah,
And I started making beats, and I basically got into it for production.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah.
Then I started mucking around, like at the studio at my house. You'd come around at lunchtime.
Come around on my lunch break and lay down a few verses.
We'd eat fucking like kings,
Oh, always, bro.
Like prosciutto and stuff
Yeah.
like that.
Eat
And
like
then-
proper
and then-
clogs.
Whip up a quick puttanesca and have a couple of
And
beers.
I go, oh, how's this beat? How's that beat? And we'd record little bits and pieces, but I've always lacked the confidence of releasing anything.
Yeah.
If
He
it's
needs
not
to,
if
though.
it's not electronic.
Shout him out.
Grow some
when this
balls.
gets posted,
No,
shout
it's
him out in
happening
the
this year,
comments.
man. That's like
Actually,
yeah.
harass
check him
him in
up.
the comments. We need some Lucien Black.
Well,
Put him
I'm
on the
in
dog and
the
tell him he
catalog,
needs
yeah.
to start.
I've
putting some
heard
tracks
some
out.
of the shit he's worked on, and trust me,
Oh, they're
it's
fire.
fucking well worth
There's
fucking
some
getting
fire
out there.
beats there. Don't
I'm a
get
bit
me
of I'm a bit obsessive when it comes to sound. I have a library, and it's not a myth. I have a library of sounds that I've been working on for a
Many
long.
years.
I know. Me and him sat there, drank piss, and he showed me all these beats. I was
wave
like, "Can you
table.
send that to me?"
Yeah.
He's like, "No, I'll make you a better one."
I'll make you better.
Every time, and
Yeah.
it's just
And I'm
like,
okay.
No, it's going to happen. I think. I lack the confidence. One with ageism. Two is also with
ageism.
ageism.
Load of
mate.
shit.
No, it is. It's
ageism.
just. I think it's more imposter syndrome.
Yeah,
Yeah, but
you
I mean, we
feel
all suffer
like
from that.
Yeah, so it's
We
more
all get
that.
that,
But no,
though,
look, I have got
you
some
know?
stuff that I'm working on, and it's a couple of mixes that I'm releasing, and also some other shit.
And the
Well, look-
DJing now, this guy's getting booked hard out for DJing too. Yeah, fuck yeah, he is.
yeah, fucking oath.
So look at him, they can't big note himself.
But anyway,
Yeah.
back
And he's
to the
supposed to be a
story.
wop.
Back to
Yeah.
this. Don't worry about me, brother. Well, let's go back to the
Oh,
story.
fucking
bro.
big
Don't worry
no,
about
hang
me.
on,
He's
hang
like,
on,
don't
hang
worry
on.
about me. Let's talk more about me.
Hang on, hang on, everybody, shut up.
Yeah.
If you
Continue.
can't big note yourself, I'm gonna big note you for it.
Nah.
But first, I want to ask, because obviously I already know this, but just so that people are clear, because I remember one of the first things I thought when I seen Flytrap Studios
Was
is,
this
what the
banana?
fuck is that name?
Yeah.
Right,
Fly-
I had no
Flytrap.
idea who it was. Never met Louis before. I was like, what is that name? It's fucking.
You just said it in one.
Off
What
you
the,
go.
What the fuck?
Where does Flytrap Studio name come from?
Well, my name's Louis.
Louis the Fly.
Lucien. Louis.
Yeah.
Louis the Fly. Like.
Yeah, Louis the Fly, exactly.
Yeah,
You gotta
Fly
make
Trap,
sure everybody knows that.
Yeah. FTS fuck the system, mate. Basically.
Yeah.
100.
Yeah, I wanted to come into it with a different perspective and a different, how would I call it? Como se diz? Fuck.
Just different way of looking at
Different
things.
way of looking at
Sexuality.
things, sexuality, if you like. no, I wanted to do some fun shit with my friends, man.
Yeah. Fucking
You
oath,
know,
that's
like
what it's all
we've
about.
on our Flytrap YouTube channel, we've done
Oh, mate.
fucking
Chili-
beer reviews
chili
and fucking
challenges,
chili
beer
challenges,
reviews, yeah.
fucking all sorts of
Interviews.
stuff, mate. And I'll tell you what, making content and putting this sort of stuff out here, like I'm doing now, is basically what I like to do and what I want to continue doing because fucking life is short.
What
boys.
else are you gonna be doing
tell
on
you-
a Sunday?
Yeah, 100%. And I'll tell you what, until we started fucking doing it,
Yeah.
we did not realise how much goes into that. So shout out to people that hustle and grind on YouTube. Like
100%.
your channel might be doing shit. Right? You might be getting like a couple of followers a day, but if you're putting in that work and you're like getting that post-production in there, you know, like you're making quality content. Don't give up. Someone will find it.
It's
Someone
not
will
about how many
niche.
people are looking at it.
No, it's about what it does to them, you know, how they feel when they watch it. But you know what I mean? A lot of work goes into putting
100%.
out that kind of content and doing this kind of stuff.
But I kept my head out of the.
Shout outs to this cat.
I
for
sort of
fucking
kept my
hustling.
head out of it for a lot to sort of, I don't know, build something in a sense of like for my friends.
Yeah. Well, that's why it's a collective, right? Because we're like, what is it?
Basically,
Is it a record label?
No,
is it a
no one knows
management
what FT is.
Is it a
company?
production company?
It's just like,
Are
no,
we promoters? Yeah, we promote gigs. Yeah, we host
put on our own
shows.
gigs.
He DJs. I host stuff. I perform. He makes beats. We got friends that do other shit. Are we a record label? He manages artists.
Like,
He
yeah.
and manages one Loxy.
Yeah.
So it's a
Shout
bit
out
of an
Lox.
all-round. Yeah,
Shout
shout
out
out
Lox.
Lox. People will approach us to come and like, I'll host and do
There's
stage
no-
management, and this guy will promote.
Yep.
And they'll be like, we want Flytrap to run our show for us because we know it's a tight ship. We know it gets done.
That just
And,
reminds me, I've got to tell you about an appointment for next month.
Oh, I see. All right, cool. Better lock it in.
Okay.
I'll send the text to the missus to make sure
I
that's in the calendar.
forgot about that. I was like,
But you know what I mean?
yeah.
Like,
Hey,
so
let's-
it's like, well, what is it? What is it? We do all of these things. We've got so many feathers in our caps, and we're starting to get our enclave of people involved. These talented artists that can bring different things. We've got photographers. You know what I mean? We've got musos. We've got beat makers. We've got singers that come in and do different things. It's a collective. So everyone's on an even keel, and we're all about trying to help out where we can. We've got
Each
people who
other.
can do videography that are part of the crew. You know what I mean? It's a crew. It's
If
a
we
collective.
don't, we give it a
It's
crack.
a fucking
Like,
lifestyle. It's a
Yeah.
state of mind. That's
yeah.
what FTS is
Oh, look,
about.
I think at I know that there's worse things that we could be doing,
100%.
and
I've probably done
Been
it.
there, done that.
We've probably all done it.
and being on the borderline of Gen X, you know what I mean. I've sort of been there between the parts where it wasn't social media and then it is now, but
It's a different world, right?
it's a different fucking world, mate. You know, and I believe that on supporting our local artists,
Yeah.
especially in the hip hop scene,
Yeah.
um,
And entrepreneurs.
and
creatives,
entrepreneurs,
you know what I
and
mean? Like,
creatives, companies.
we want to try and bring as many people in as we can.
100%, you know, and
That like-minded.
yeah, 100%.
Kroc-D, for example. Like, we've teamed up with them a few times on photo shoots. We've had them doing pop-ups, selling
Yep.
merch at shows and stuff. When they did that stuff with Mad Fat, we're going to try and get them to do that again at the next FTS show.
Yep.
And now they got a collab. You know what I mean? Like, now he's printing shirts. Kroc-D,
Yeah, that's exclusive,
Flytrap
yep.
Studios. Is that what you're wearing right now?
Yeah.
Stand
yeah.
up.
Yeah.
Show the team what we got, right? And these are online at Kroc-D at the website. Check out their socials.
Link in
I
bio.
don't know the
Link in
exact link
bio.
for the.
And there'll also be a
See
link in
here.
bio for Wrecking Crew shirts.
Oh,
and that job.
100%,
We'll
yes.
go on about that later
We'll
on.
get into that in a little while, yeah.
I'd say.
Fuck, I got a box of merch at home that hasn't been sold yet. You want
Yeah.
some of that shit? Hit me up too.
So much merch.
Got this,
Fucking
got that.
Yeah,
Rockets.
see, look, now you can see it. So look at that. We got the Kroc-D logo up the top. In the guts, we've got this by the man Victor Bitter.
Fly trap.
Victor Bitter represent
Yeah.
Lazy
Shout out
Army
Victor
Clothing
Bitter.
Company, man. Shout outs to Vic.
Shout out.
You're the man. So he designed the back there. He designed this situation here, and Kroc-D have thrown their spin on it and done a run for us. So that's our first collabo, and cop that shit. There's a limited.
All right. So enough of giving Lucien a hard on. Let's talking about fly
I don't know.
trap.
I don't know if the old man can still get one. What do you reckon?
No.
Oh,
Who cares?
maybe we need to get sponsored by Blue Chew.
yeah.
I don't even know what you're talking about, Vero.
What is it? What's a blue chew? Eh?
I don't know what you're talking about. Blue Chew.
Blue Chew.
It's like the
Viagra Chewy.
Viagra chewies nowadays. Like Cialis.
He looks like he's into
He's
it.
like,
Are
what?
you fucking
You can get
serious?
them? It's like a Cialis, but it's just a chewy.
Oh.
It's young, 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 and
And
know.
Blue Chew, if you want to sponsor us, we're all for it.
Up and down, in and outs.
Akusi, Akuli.
Akuli,
Hey,
yeah.
up and down, in and out. Yeah, what for? When it doesn't work.
Yeah, when you
Yeah.
when your shit's all busted up.
That's
When
'cause
we're
you don't
giving
eat
you a hard
properly.
on, talking
Nah,
about
That's
you too much.
it.
It's because you don't eat properly.
It's not enough garlic, eh?
If you don't eat properly, if you eat shit, it's not going to work, mate. I'm telling you, anything.
Yeah.
If you want to go for good shit, you need to eat properly.
Yeah.
Do you want to go for a good
If you don't eat, you don't shit. If you don't shit,
Shit, you die. Yeah.
Little.
It's true.
My mum always told me that.
That's so true,
mate.
yeah,
So
yeah.
if your gutsies are not working right, and you need to have a fucking chewy gums or whatever, like I think
It's probably down to what you eat.
it's down to what you munch, mate, or what you put into
So
your
what
bodies.
should you eat to give you a fucking, rock hard
Well,
shit?
I feel like there's a
yeah.
lot of people.
You want to tell us what you should eat?
Nah, well,
Pasta.
my nonno used to say,
Probably, yeah.
which was highly inappropriate. Right?
Sorry,
Here
I'm
we go.
just
Here we
like
go.
this.
Episode 1, we're already cancelled.
No,
Let's
no,
go.
no,
It's probably not.
Yeah.
It's probably didn't age well to eat. But
I'll
let's
say,
hear it.
yeah.
Disclaimer: this was said by an 80-year-old man.
He reckons walnuts, mate.
Walnuts.
Yeah.
Why? Because they look like scrub.
Nah, because it's got nuts in the name.
Fair cop.
But-
Peanuts.
Nah, he reckons nuts,
Macadamia
like
nuts.
castagni. I don't
Yeah,
know.
nuts, okay.
What's castagni?
Castagni, like chestnuts.
Yeah.
Yeah, like roasted
I feel-
chestnuts. Yeah, castagni.
Is there any
Castagni,
scientific
like
basis to
walnuts.
this, or are we
Probably
just
not.
saying no?
Is there anything scientific basis?
I don't think there's
to
anything to
that
it.
an old
Mate,
old
we
wog
could
says
do a
to you?
whole episode on the fucking Italian wives' tales, man. I'm telling you right now.
Oh,
with the
mate.
fucking oil.
What was the one? The one that used to crack me up. It had, so most of them work. That's
Crack
the thing.
the egg and put it in the
Yeah,
fucking
crack
meter
the
box.
egg in the olive oil.
Yeah, and you put it in the meter box.
Put it in the meter box. Get
the
rid of the
full moons and shit, you know,
Yeah,
like-
get rid of the curse. It's that Malocchio shit, you know,
Yeah.
like
Means evil eye.
yeah, Malocchio is evil eye. So if someone puts the evil eye on you, it's like a little curse. That's where this comes from,
Yeah,
right?
it's wog shit, yeah.
So any of the metal fans out there that should know
Yeah,
this,
yeah,
if you
yeah.
don't know this, so right, these devil horns, right?
That's
it comes
Dio's
from
fault.
Ronnie James Dio, rest in peace.
It's Dio's fault.
Dio's fault, right? Little Sicilian man, little sexy unit with his frizzy head.
Ma.
He took that off the old nonnas back in the day
Brutal.
because they used to do that. It's evil eye. You're putting the Malocchio on you. And then he picked that up and he did it to the
Don't
crowd.
do that with the cameras, mate.
They did it back,
We'll bless it.
So, yeah.
Don't worry.
Spirito Santo,
Yeah,
fucking
you know,
run of
like-
things.
Yeah, don't do the fucking bad
But you know what I mean?
coconuts and
That's,
that, you know?
so there's a little factoid for you, man. Ronnie James Dio, he invented the devil horns and it's an Italian thing, right?
Yeah.
All right, anyway, let's go back again.
Getting off
there's
track
gonna
with
be
the
like-
wog shit.
Yeah.
Just so you know, man, you invited me to a podcast. I made it as fuck. You asked me to come and talk.
Oh,
I
we're
had
all
to-
for it. We're all for it.
I
man.
had my dose, my dexamphetamine prescribed dose before the podcast, so I didn't go too tangential.
Yeah.
But let's.
I had a
There's no guarantee that it's not.
I had an inkling that between you two, being that you guys are basically best mates, I was probably not going to get
Yeah.
a word in edgewise
No,
anyway.
but that's the thing. Like, we've got to give you some space.
Once we get Byron on here, it's going to be the same thing.
Exactly.
Oh, yeah, then it'll be you two and
Yeah.
us.
Yeah.
It'll be like if, honestly, if it was you, Byron, me, and him
Oh, Minky.
doing a podcast,
We wouldn't get the word
someone
in.
would watch it and think, oh, these boys surely had some booger sugar.
Yeah, 100%.
Like, they're surely on the nose.
Just
bitch, 'cause
wouldn't
they're just
shut the
sitting there,
fuck
like,
up.
pitching each other ideas.
Ba-
for the
ba- ba-
next
ba- ba- ba-
podcast.
ba- 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 ba-
Hey, man.
Oh, look, I dreamings, mate. I'm dreamings.
I can't even
Curse
hear
you,
it. I've got
Ed.
the headphones on.
Anyway, yeah, so you don't hear these little sound effects. What's this one do?
No, this didn't go forever now.
Oh, yeah, freestyle? Put your hands on. Quick freestyle. That's a beat. Is that a beat?
Oh yeah.
Oh, hang on, let me turn you up.
Fuck, I sound good for this, mate.
Yeah.
Can't hear it,
You're
mate.
listening.
What do you mean you can't hear?
Can't hear
Bear
it.
Trap
You can't hear
Podcast.
nothings.
No, I can't hear nothing. I can't
Got
even hear my
technical
voice.
difficulties.
Huh?
No.
How
There
about
we
now?
go.
There we go.
Oh, look out.
Yeah.
I'm the
Yeah.
technology man.
He's got the mad
Technology,
technology.
man.
Yeah.
All right, let's
Oh,
not
I was
fucking
about to
rap.
fucking. I was about
Let's-
to throw
let's not
down.
rap.
Technology. Get on top of me.
We can do that later. We'll do that.
Yeah.
So
All right. So anyway, that's the fly trap story. So we're out here doing shit.
I'm
Yeah.
glad that you brought it back because I was starting
Yeah,
to
no.
forget where we were at.
That's it. So we were talking about fly trap. And,
Fuck it, it's our podcast, my brother. We can do what the
we
fuck
can do what the fuck we want.
Hey, if people like it, they like it. If they
Yeah.
don't, I don't really give a
Bruv,
fuck.
we got an alarm on for 15 minutes before shot. If we need an extra hour,
No, I haven't, but I'll look.
we
He
just
has a
get an
mental
extra
alarm.
I've got a mental alarm.
hour. Oh, he's got an OCD alarm.
No, I'm not OCDs.
Cheers.
Am I OCDs?
Ever so slightly. But it's a
Cheers
good
to
thing.
episode 1.
Yeah, cheers to episode 1, brothers. Cheers.
Salud. Fan culo tu mama. Yeah.
Yeah. Mwah. But yeah,
Skulka.
so fly trap, man. We out here, we're doing stuff, man. Keep an eye out. Keep an eye out for all the artists. Should we just let them know all the cats that are involved, real quick, just
Yes,
as a shout out? Because this is the first episode.
yes.
We got fucking drop bear over here. We got Byron Elliot together. They are bipolar.
Yep.
Yes.
We got
Together.
Coas. Together.
Together.
Suck back. So we got bipolar, Byron Elliot, drop bear, Coas, and Monty. They involved like, oh man, who else? Oh fuck.
Coas, Moni, K the Sovereign,
K the Sov.
Richo the Kid.
Yes, Richo Kid on the ones and
Ruinous.
twos and doing the rap. Ruinous.
I said Moni and Coas, did I?
Yeah, we said
Or-
Monty
Locks.
Coas. Loxy.
Locks.
Don't forget Loxy. 100%, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, man.
Locks.
So that's that's the circle. We got a few
She hasn't
people
even released
coming in and out.
Richo Kid.
She hasn't released anything, but she's fucking getting there with her music.
100, man. No, she got some. She got a couple up
done
on
a couple of
Spotify
shows,
and
man.
shit, hasn't she?
Not meaning.
Oh no, she's waiting on the EP, right?
Yeah.
No.
I think she wanted to do like a 5-track EP before she dropped it, right?
We've got things coming.
things
She
coming.
wants to get
As
videos
her
done.
mani-
and-
That
as
thing
her-
hasn't gone off, has it?
No. As her manager, I will check it in a sec. And fuck it, it's our podcast. We can do what we like.
If not, it's just me for now.
No, it's
You
not.
go check it.
We also have that
We'll
there.
keep
Oh,
talking
and the fuck-
shit.
Okay, you keep talking shit, and
Okay,
we'll
so
talk
yeah,
about
so
locks
I've
in
got
a
a
sec.
question for you, mate.
Yeah,
How
hit me,
long
let's
have you been
go.
rapping for?
How long have I been rapping? Damn. All right, well, look, I think I wrote my first rap in like year 7. So that's
wow.
2000 and... No, not even. That would have been fuck, how old am I? You know, I graduate 2000. So I think, yeah.
Do you know what's weird?
Yeah, I think it was year 2. I think class of
Do you know what's really
99.
weird? I wrote a rap in year 7, right?
Yep.
And I actually didn't start rapping until I was like 19.
Yeah, see?
I
Similar
wrote,
kind of situation.
I wrote
yeah.
one rap and was just like, oh, this is kind of cool. I reckon I could do this. And then
Yeah, and just forgot about it.
and then I was like 19 and I just started actually fucking.
Yeah, well, similar kind of situation is like I was writing raps through high school. I wrote quite a few, and they were generally crap. Looking, I found some of my old black books and shit. Rely on my graph.
I was more of a metalhead in
You know
high
what I
school.
mean? Yeah, see, I was like in high school. I was like growing up. I was eclectic as fuck. Like I've always been into all kinds of music. I grew up
Yeah.
playing guitar. You know,
Yeah,
performing
100%,
arts
me too.
kid. You know, I grew up doing dance and drama and all that shit.
How old did you start playing guitar?
I got my first guitar probably around like 6 or 7 years old because they were like, my parents were like, this kid needs something
To
do.
focus on, yeah.
He's just a lot. And my Uncle Dan, because, you know, I grew up with a lot of music around. My Uncle Dennis was a drummer. He was a session drummer for a long time. Shout out to Dennis Littler, rest in peace. My pop was a DJ. He was one of the first big DJs in Perth. So was Den, part of the family business.
Names?
Party Sounds, look up Party Sounds. Ray Littler, Dennis Littler. Party Sounds was the company. And for a while, it was the biggest mobile DJ sound and lighting company in the Southern Hemisphere for quite some time, man. They had, like, back in the 80s and 90s, they were playing all the major clubs.
Pumping it.
Yeah, it was a big deal. But I mean, like by
So
the
your
time
family's always been music
into like the
orientated.
entertainment industry and stuff, you know.
Yeah.
So Dennis said to mum and dad, they're like, "Oh, get him some drums, you know. I'll teach him how to play drums." Mum and dad were like, "Fuck,
I'm not listening to him
are
learn to
you
play
serious?"
drums. There's
The
there's
whole
one
idea is
thing
we want
worse.
something to channel his shit. Like that's just open up a
There's
whole
one
nother can
thing
of worms.
worse than listening to loud drums all day, and that's listening to someone learn drums all day.
Yeah.
As
it's
much
like,
as you don't
do you know
want
what
to
the
be
worst
like,
thing
shut the fuck up, you suck.
Yeah. You have to bear with it
You
because you're
think
like,
that,
oh, they're
you know?
still learning, you know. Give them a
Exactly,
chance to
but
get better.
well, like we got so our neighbor.
He's getting better.
Yeah, no, so he's actually he's actually getting pretty good.
Yeah.
So our neighbor, one of my mates was selling his drum kit, right?
Yeah.
And I used to play a lot of drums and all that kind of
Yeah,
stuff.
yeah,
And my
I
mate Dean, I hit him up because he was selling his drum kit, and so they wanted to get a drum kit, and so I organized for him to sell the drum kit to the kid. And they're like, "Oh, aren't you going to be worried about him making noise and stuff?" I was like, "No, I played drums when I was a kid too.
Yeah.
I played guitar when I was a kid too. If I would be hypocritical to be upset about him learning,
100%.
and the fact that we don't really care," I said, so long as it's not after like 9, 10 o'clock at
Yeah,
night,
don't be a dick about it.
right? I don't give a
be
shit.
a fucking dick.
Right,
Simple.
and so fucking we put up with it for a couple of weeks, and now he's actually starting to get pretty good. So when I hear him playing drums, I'm like,
You got
fuck
like a guitar
yeah,
and shit at home, or like anything?
yeah,
Oh,
I
dude.
play, yeah.
Go and have a jam
guitars
with the
and-
motherfucker.
He's,
I'll come around and have a jam.
You two need to have a jam.
Yeah, I started playing again a bit
Is it
lately.
Gretsch?
I got a
Nah,
Gretsch.
I got a couple of LTDs.
Yeah, the LTD's nice. Yeah, because you're a metal guy. That's,
Yeah.
the
Yeah.
LTDs make sense. I'm more of like a blues, funk, reggae kind of cat, but I still throw down my metal. Chuck it in a drop D once in a while and get a little bit fucking brutal.
Yeah, got a couple of
Crank the
LTDs, got
gain
an
on that
LTD
bitch.
bass,
And I love bass. Bass is
5-string
fun.
bass.
You got a 5-string. I do too. I got an Ibanez 5-string, but it has been cooked for quite a while. There's a warp
just
in the
gonna go
neck
to-
that is.
I'm just going to give a bit
unfixable.
of a technical update. Let's bring this back to WNKFM.
All right, so when
So
we just
were
left you
talking
guys,
about, talking about music. So I started out playing guitar and that. Yeah, 5-string bass. You got one of them. Mine's fucked. Want to fix it? Does anyone out there with a fucking 5-string Ibanez bass that's just cooked and they want to scrap it, but the neck is
Ibanez
intact?
basses are good too.
Yeah, man, it's
I
beautiful.
really
There's a
enjoy the
limited
feel
run
of them.
too, man. This thing is gorgeous, right?
Enjoy the feel of Ibanez, bro.
It just needs a new neck. The body, the hardware, everything is fine. It just needs.
Does
a
it
new
need
neck.
a new neck or does it need the truss rod adjusted?
Tried the truss rod. Oh man, there's a whole story behind it. I had a fuckhead mate that I lent it to, and we were living out in Leonora at the time, back in the day. I went back to Perth.
Shout
for a
outs to
bit.
that, mate.
Yeah, shout outs to that.
Fun cool.
He's not a fucking mate anymore. But yeah, he must have left it in the sun leaning up against, mate. The bow in this thing was just... And then he panicked and tried to fix it. Didn't have the right Allen key for the truss rod and rounded out the nut for the truss, right? So I got the nut from Japan, the luthier that I went through, got it. Still didn't, it was just too cooked. So they were like, all right, we'll take the fretboard off. We'll take the truss out. Try and weight it.
Nah. What happened?
It was done. It was done. It's fucked. So it needs a new neck. So if anyone out there just has an Ibanez 5-string bass neck,
call the eBays. Go to the eBays.
Let me know.
Go to the eBays.
People
Yeah, one
don't
of these
realize with like guitars, because they're made of timber. Timber having been a living thing,
It warps.
it adjusts to environments.
100%. And Leonora was a very harsh environment for a guitar. I'll tell you that much.
Yeah, and so when you treat them like shit, they may never recover.
Yeah, and this one didn't. But I'll get it. I'll figure it out. It's been
Leaning on a
sitting,
tree long enough, it's going to be on its side.
it's been sitting fucked for about 10 years. But anyway, so yeah, I was playing all these things. I started playing guitar around 6, 7. I started writing raps around, year 7, around 12 years old. Fuck, I can almost still remember it, eh? It was like...
Isn't it weird how you remember like some of the
Yeah.
first raps you write
Yeah.
more than you remember your newer shit?
I know, it
Because
does my head.
by now I've got a billion raps in my head, and like still, if like I get put on the spot and I have to rap something, it'll be one of the first things I ever wrote.
Yeah. and it was like it's something like it was like about like crime on the streets. You know, I grew up in Balga. You know what I mean? I wasn't a criminal by at 12 years
I
old.
live
by
in
any
Balgan
sense.
now, so you know.
Yeah. Well, you know what I mean? But like,
Balga's nice
it was
now.
a reflection of some of the grimy shit that I saw as a youngin', man. But it was also a reflection of, Cypress Hill and shit that I was listening to.
Yeah.
Some shit like the sun is going down and the moon's getting high. It's one more time for the light to die. People in their houses, you know what I mean? It was trash. It was like Curtis Flow blows, you know?
Yeah.
These are the breaks.
Curtis.
But it was,
These are the
The
breaks.
breaks.
Break
It's
it
like,
up, break it up, break it up.
Shout outs to Crafty Cuts on one of the best remixes of all time, by the way.
Boy.
But yeah, like, so I wrote that, and I wrote a few raps throughout high school, and I think I did like a couple of talent shows in high school with raps as well.
Is that at Mercy?
At Mercy, yeah. And
Used to
then,
have that
and then,
every
and
year in
then
the
that's what happened.
quadrangle,
So
at the
while I was,
quadrangle in front of the canteen.
I used to bust some rhymes at the
Yeah,
quadrangle.
Growing
Yeah,
up grimy
at
goes to a
Mercy too,
private
man.
school.
Yeah, exactly.
Private
Hey,
school
man,
boy.
cheapest private school in Western Australia, don't mind you. Hey,
Oh,
we
I
used
went
to
there
call
for
it-
a year.
He went there for a year. We used to
On
call
a
it Hell's
scholarship.
Mouth, right? So any of the Buffy listeners would know what I'm talking about, Hell's Mouth, right? Because it's on where they live in Buffy. Some nerd shit.
What's a Buffy?
Buffy the Vampire Slayer. Fucking.
Oh, yeah.
This is before, like,
Whack.
get fucked. That was dope
the
back in the
Buffy's,
day.
mate.
Alicia Silverstone, you telling her that's
Buffy's.
whack. Get out.
Oh,
yeah, brother.
Was Alicia Silverstone?
That was the series.
Was it?
It was Alicia Silverstone. No,
It started out as like a comic.
it was a
wasn't
movie. It was
It
a
was a
comic.
movie. I
Then it was a
remember the
movie.
movie.
Then it was a series. Right?
Right.
Oh, go.
Anyway, it was called Hell's Mouth, right? That was the town they lived in because it was across 2 ley lines, like lines of magic. So there was literally like a portal to hell, and that's the vampires. I might be wrong. There's some nerds out there on the internet that tell me that I've got that all fucked up.
he's-
But anyway, we used to call it Hell's Mouth because it was literally Mirrabooka Ave, Beach Road, right? So you got Balga, Mirrabooka, Kundula,
Balga.
Girraween, Kundula, right? Like the 4 shittest suburbs in the whole of the Northern River.
Yeah, I live about
And we're on the
400
corner.
meters from there now.
You know what I'm talking about, right? It was right on the corner.
Yeah.
Cheapest private school. Like, honestly, they paid more for the uniforms than what you got out of your education. I'll tell you that much.
100%.
Mate, you look tidy.
Look the part.
You're learning fuck all. But anyway, shout outs to Mercy College.
Yeah,
Suck
they
my ass.
taught me how to do the tie.
Yeah.
You know?
Bullshit. You had one of them slinky ties.
Nah.
Yeah. You know what the
100%.
trick was, though? You tie it once at the beginning of term, right? You get your old boy, you'd be like, how do I do a half Windsor?
Just loosen it off a little bit.
and you just
put
loosen
back
off
on
and
the
you
next
just
day.
hang
Wow.
it. And then at the end of term, you'd have to wash the fucker. 10 weeks later, you put it through the wash.
Why didn't I
And then
think
you
of
go,
this?
hey, Dad,
Hey,
I
Dad,
don't know how to die this.
do a
fucking-
Windsor for us. You know?
Why the
if
fuck-
you did a full Windsor, pimp. Straight pimp.
If I had to wear a tie at school, I
I could do one
guarantee
right
you I
now
would
like
not
this.
have gone to
I
school.
could do one right now like this. I'll do it every
a full
time.
Windsor.
Full Windsor every time.
See, I can only rock a half Windsor.
Do
but
it
that's-
every
that's-
time,
yeah,
mate,
I'll
like-
have to get you to show me, Dad.
Oh, mate.
You're like speaking another language to me. Right?
Yeah.
What is
I
your
love
tie?
wearing a suit, but I never wear a suit with a tie purely because I
Court,
fucking
funerals and
can't tie a
weddings.
tie.
Oh,
I
well,
have
that's
a
a
court
session.
suit, I have a funeral suit, and I have a wedding suit.
Yeah,
That's it.
the court
Finish.
suit. Is the court suit? I mean, it's one thing I've noticed, right? I call it the old court suit special, and it's usually from an op shop, right? The court case special, right? What it is, it's a
Suit
pair of
doesn't fit
etnies.
properly.
It's a pair of black etnies, right?
We're getting really like early 2000s on this now.
I know, but you got it from the op shop, so I've still been sitting there since the 2000s, man.
If it's in court, you don't wear laces.
I got court next.
Don't
I've got
wear
court
laces.
tomorrow. I need to get something to fucking wear. I'll go down to Sammy's.
If you're going to
Sort
court,
that out.
you don't wear laces.
Under $10, and we're talking like ill-fitting, baggy, like black suit pants, right? And then it's a pinstripe dress shirt, but it has like a rip curl, or Billabong
Yeah.
like embroidered logo on it. And then just
Yeah,
the
nightclub special.
poxiest tie you can possibly find. So it's the etnies, it's the black pants, it's the rip curl dress shirt, it's your hair's gelled up.
And a jacket
I mean?
that doesn't match the color of the pants.
Not at all, man.
The last time
If
you
they
were
wear
in
a
court was
jacket.
2005 or what? That's what it sounded like it looked like then.
About that.
Yeah.
Maybe a little later.
Yeah,
but you know what I mean? But I see it. I see it all the time. I work in the city. I drive
Yeah.
past Magistrates Court and I'm like, ha! Old mate.
3 to 5, dickhead.
Yeah.
One thing that'll probably spin you cunts out, not once have I been actually had a court date where I've had to sit in front of a judge.
Done well. It's a sign.
Either lucky or very...
No comment.
Very,
No comment.
Yeah.
Yeah. I do not answer
Yeah, I
questions.
prefer to seek further legal advice on this one. Thank you.
And it was allegedly.
Yeah.
yeah.
Allegedly.
Either really
But no.
lucky or very...
No,
very
look.
careful.
Yeah.
Yeah, careful.
So after
Impulsive behaviour.
I'll-
That was my problem as a youngin.
I would,
Impulsive behaviour.
who's your favourite collab that you've ever done? Out of all your
Out of
music?
all the songs, everything
Out
I've
of
done,
all
my
the songs,
favourite.
and you've done like you've done Coe, Cable, Miss Genius. You've done fucking
I haven't.
You've got
Well,
Brains
me
and Kimbo coming
I'll
up.
tell you what.
You've
Me and
got
Coe
fucking-
haven't done a proper collab.
You've done
Oh,
SoundCloud
well, look,
shit.
back in the fucking day
SoundCloud
on
days.
SoundCloud. We don't.
That's
count
not going to be your favourite, though,
that.
is
We
it?
don't count that. That's
Who's
not
your
my
favourite collab?
My
Skulka?
favourite. So the one I did with Skulka was pretty tight. She was good. And Beck, Beck did that one
Yes.
on.
And the
what
shit
was
you're
it?
doing with Ty at the moment is pretty fucking dope.
Yeah, actually,
You've
you know
done
what?
2.
Probably my favorite collab to date, conceptually, like as an all-round concept track, piece of art that's been put out to the world, from the perspective of someone who writes.
Shout out DJ Ty.
Yeah, shout out to DJ Ty. Was it Fresh Juice?
Fresh Juice Collective.
Fresh Juice Collective. We did one last year called Close Your Eyes. And that was fun.
Yeah,
that was a fun track to do, and I feel like I kind of
Is that the no one?
Yeah. Just a moment ago, I was no one, and that was kind of like a response.
Fucking
to,
love that track.
Yeah, see,
It's a
yeah.
skater's track. Do you think it's
It
a
is
skater's
chill.
track?
Yeah, no,
No,
it's that.
for me, it's just a vibe, dude. It's just like, I quite often listen to it when I'm at work.
Yeah.
Like, I'll just have headphones in. When I'm, like, sometimes on Saturdays and stuff,
Close
I'll be
your
working
eyes?
by myself.
Close
I'll just chuck the headphones in and I'll just listen to that, and it's just like, just a moment ago, I was no one sitting with nobody or nothing. It was so fun.
Getting in the
bruv.
comfort of my own
No
lungs. And I
Almost forgot how to breathe.
And the idea is like, I think it came from like, I was going through like a bit mental healthy at the time, and I just kind of come out of that mind state, and I was really kind of doing a bit of breath work. Do you know what I mean? Like, just trying to find my center. You know what I mean?
As long as they're nice
And
bars.
this beat kind of came through, and I'm like, oh, okay, all right. And he had
Me,
to
it just-
sample it. Close your eyes, rest your head, and I was like, oh, okay. And it was that idea of when you breathe in, or when you're sleeping, right? When you're sleeping, but also when you're like in that state of full relaxation, full almost out of body. You know, you found your center, and you're like. I don't want to be like some yogi, yogi.
Yeah.
I'm not that guy, but you know what I mean. Like you found that spot, and you almost revert back to the womb.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You
Oh, mate, I've had
you're
grappa like that,
floating.
bro. I swear to God, mate, it made my eyes flicker, bro, and I was like, "Oi, I know exactly what you're
You
doing."
know what I mean? Like when you're in that,
in
that moment, you're in
yeah.
that space, and you kind of, and that was like that red room where I float with no clothes on. It's
Yeah.
like I'm here, I'm in it, and then you breathe back out, and then reality just kind of goes,
Yeah.
and it falls back into place, and you're suddenly put back into the present. You're no
the
longer
way
in that space.
the way
and that's
I kind of
where it came from.
The way I kind of interpreted it was like fucking it was like kind of like questioning yourself for sort of zoning out in a way. Like
yeah.
you zone out into like this nothingness of like I'm not fucking anybody, I'm not nothing's important, fucking whatever. And then you come back to like reality, and you're sort of like, okay,
Where do I start again?
yeah.
You're kind of lost for a second.
you sort of
Zone
like
track.
got to rebuild yourself, you know what I mean?
It's like that
That's-
split second when you're in that perfect state of just zen, chill, right?
but
And
it'll
then
be in the fucking
have
comments
a
or
listen
in
to
the
that shit. And that's
link.
probably my favorite collab I've done today. The other one that I really like is notable because there's quite a few. And look, to be honest, there's quite a few collabs I've done with other cats that they haven't released.
Yes,
Would you say?
And I shout out, and I'm not going to shout
I've
this
heard
out,
his
but
whole catalog.
I'm going to tell you, if if you're not going to release it, just tell me so I can use those fucking rhymes somewhere else because they were really good bars. And if you're just sitting on it, let me fucking know. Yeah, okay.
So with that Thai collab, the one we were just talking about, would you say that it's very much up to interpretation?
Yeah, 100%. That was the idea. I like to
because you left it very open.
Yeah. So 100%. So that's where it came from for me. That's what brought it on was that state. And then I started going in the idea of close your eyes, rest your head. Okay, so it's about sleep. Like, so when you're asleep, there was a line in it. What is it? I only feel normal when my mind is sleeping.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because when I'm in real life, as someone who's like neurodivergent, I got ADHD, probably somewhere on the spectrum, haven't been tested. Does it matter? Probably not. You know, you know what I mean? I am. This is me. But like when I'm awake and I'm conscious and I'm in the moment, it's busy. There's a lot going on.
Very overwhelming.
It's overwhelming. I get overstimulated sometimes, and I get frazzled, and it's this constant.
I know,
chatter.
my brother. I know.
One of my mates put it really well. One day he said, "It's like you got a hive of bees in your brain, and you're just trying to quieten the bees.
Just fucking buzzing around.
And that's why we smoke.
Bees are commies, by the way.
Calm down when they smoke.
My brother,
Bees are commies, by the way.
My brother, I've seen in the 5-6 years we've been knocking around. Yeah. I've seen your highs, I've seen your lows.
Yeah.
I've seen how you work, how you. I don't mean how you work in a sense of being shifted. I said like how you work as a human being and shit like.
How
you know
my mind works.
And fucking, it's fucking extraordinary. Like you're a wordsmith, you're your best mate. You have your own little nuances like everybody does.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah,
like
some nuances,
if Skulka says he's going to be there at 12 o'clock, he's going to be there at 12:01.
Yeah, or quarter past.
But you break
give him a buffer.
I'm still sweating gonyoles like fucking 10
quarter
minutes
two.
before.
He's freaking out at quarter two.
You know what I mean?
I'm going there
but
quarter
that's just
past.
me.
Like, that's me on time.
And like opposites
I'm the same.
are very opposites. I know. Yeah. But we're very similar.
Yeah.
We are very similar.
But he's got ADHD too, and he's not even medicated. But
That's-
it's a different
no,
type of ADHD.
but like-
it's a spectrum, you know what I'm saying? This
You know
is
what I
the
mean?
thing.
But
There's different levels.
look, man, fucking like your lyricism is just.
I appreciate that. But that was the thing, to be open interpretation, you know, like for me, it was about that. But I kind of, especially nowadays when I write, and the new project I'm working on, which we'll chat about a bit later, but I'm trying to be a bit more, less literal with my language, less literal with my phrasing and the terms that I use and the metaphors that I use.
Also, if I could butt in, it seems like you're being very introspective.
Yeah, I feel like a lot of my music's always been quite introspective,
That's
and
the
I
words.
got a bit over that. I'm like, oh, fuck, no one wants to hear me rap about my mental health all the
But
fucking
the
time.
thing is, from what I've heard of your older stuff, because I've obviously we've been friends for a long time. I've been following a bit of your shit for a while. From what I hear of your older rap, you're a lot of what you were doing introspective wise, you did in a very comedic sort of way.
Yeah, true.
Right, and to be honest, when you do it in a realer way, like you did with the Thai collab, I feel like it just hits home that little bit more. Cool. It's just like
That's a good point.
I am all for comedic sort of raps. That's the kind of shit that I do. I love it.
Yeah.
Right, but I feel like every now and then you got to make something that actually makes people sort of understand who you are, and that's what I think you really did really well with that Thai collab.
One thing someone told me a few years ago, I'm trying to remember who it was. I think it was Vasilios, my mum's mate. I've known since before I was born, basically, my mum's best friend. He's also a great magician. If you ever see him playing in Perth, around the place, Mario the Almost Magnificent. Very talented.
Almost
magician.
Magnificent.
Mario the Almost Magnificent.
What a name.
He's great. Great guy. A fucking absolute legend. Anyway, but he said to me
Great
one
guy
time...
named Mario?
Oh, don't boost him.
Well, no. I mean, his real name's Vasilios, mate. You can't get more Greek than that. But, you know.
I don't think he's from fucking Turkey, mate.
Yeah. But anyway, he goes, we were talking about some of the music that he'd listened to, and he's like, I like that. And I said, I feel like sometimes that's too specific. Do you know what I mean? Like, too specific to me. People aren't going to get that.
As in what regard?
Be open.
Yeah, you know what I mean? Like, some of the things I'm saying are like they're just too...
It's your life.
Yeah, it's my life. It's not broad enough for people to understand. And he said, no. What you've got wrong is with art, any kind of creative endeavor, especially if it's something that has like room for metaphors, visual art, paintings, or you know what I mean. The more personal you get, like the more vulnerable you make yourself, and the more personal that you make it. So it's like your story. Funnily enough, the more people relate. it's this weird little disconnect where a lot of artists think, no, I have to make it broad, I have to make it kind of vague so that it'll fit everyone's frame of reference. But the moment you start making yourself vulnerable and talking about what's really going on for you in particular, most people will connect with that. On a deeper level, though, like you did with that song, like you connect with it on a deep level. You've told me this a number of times. We're like, fuck, I really vibe that track, man. Like it just talks to me
in a way that a lot of your other stuff never has.
Just really hasn't clicked, yeah.
And so it's very specific to you, but it's also very not, because it's so open and so
and
up to interpretation and stuff. But when you get specifics, that's when things can be up to interpretation too, because then you start having metaphors and stuff that could be read a different way. One thing that's like a perfect example of that is Coas's Bleed.
100%, and that has just popped off, man.
Yeah, but when he released that, it's so specific to him.
Yeah, like
right?
literal
But
events in his
everybody related to it clearly. Like it's just started blowing up.
Hands down,
world.
fucking G.
Yeah,
100%. I've been saying
he opened his fucking heart in a song, right? And people have responded.
Yeah, and he shouts me out in that track too.
Yeah,
so I'm always stoked about. It's like, hey, my tracks online might not have, more than 1,000 views at best, 1,000 listens. His shit's hitting 500,000.
Nah, man,
but at least he mentions my name in it, so I'm
he's
rapping.
like that guy. I've
piggyback on that.
He's a monster.
Yeah,
he's a beast.
That track is just.
It gets me every time.
I was speaking to him when he first released it, and I was looking at and I've never said this before. I was looking at I think I did mention it to you after we started Hot in the Scene with Penny Perry and stuff. Shout out to Penny.
Shout out to Penny. Miss your girl, we're going to catch up soon.
About an animator doing that track. And as soon as I heard that track, man, like fucking...
You went, nah, this is it.
Oh, dude, I fucking...
It's about fell off your chair.
Bruv, I was just like, minka, like...
This is
fucking...
It's so real, dude. And I remember when I first heard it, right? And the thing is, the wild thing about the Bleed thing, right, was it didn't pop off
straight away
for a while.
TikTok
it took its time.
TikTok really helped that.
Yeah, no, but it didn't pop off for a while. And I literally, as soon as I heard it, I think I remember either I messaged Coas or I was meant to message Coas. You know how you do that? Where you have like, I'm going to message
you started typing it
and then you don't?
Yeah,
but I might have messaged him. I don't know, Coas, you can fucking either back me up on this or tell me I'm a fucking liar. But I remember
no.
Search the chat.
I was meant to message him saying that fucking, like, that track fucking really, like, you're killing it, bro. Like, dude. Fucking...
And
keep doing your thing.
In it, like everything.
So anything Coas does, the bars in it are fucking incredible. Yeah. But this was one of those, like, if you look at Bleed compared to a lot of other Coas's tracks, it's not as bar heavy.
No.
But it's pulling on your heartstrings heavy.
The emotion behind it.
It makes up for it.
Yeah, and the tone and the feeling behind what he's saying. Like you can feel the timbre and the way he just.
I think that comes from he's been recording music for so fucking long that he knows how to put his heart into it.
Yeah.
Right? Whereas, like, if for example, me, when I first started rapping and for a long time, I really struggled to display the emotion of what I was trying to get across in a track because I didn't realize that was something that you needed to think about. You need to actually express it in a way that's, and then as you start to get better at that, you start getting better reactions out of your tracks, right?
100%.
It's taken Coas years and years to develop this. People who just start rapping yesterday can't expect to deliver a track like Bleed as well as Coas can.
No. And he's been sitting on those thoughts you could tell he'd been sitting on those thoughts for a long time when he did
The thing with Coe is that he does it unknowingly.
I think so.
I don't think
it's contrived. It's not a contrived thing.
For him, it's a therapy.
Yeah. And it's the same for me.
And like I said
music's
before,
part of my mental health plan, 100% all day.
And I tried to get
most people
I
feel
tried to get
awkward.
an animator from SAE to do a actual animation of that track. Like I was literally going to put my own money. Remember? I was going to put my own money into this, man. And
it's going to be like $3,000 or some shit.
No. They wanted $1,000 a minute, my brother.
A minute.
Yeah, a minute. And it was I think it was like about
yourself.
4 minutes. Dude, if I
had the time to learn animation, I'd do it. You know what I mean?
Bruv, but so I heard this song, man. I was like, fucking minka. Like I messaged him. I said, fuck, you're right, bruv. Like, man. This is when we all started. Like, this is when FTS was like, Man, we'll fucking smash
Early
your
days.
shows, fucking
Yeah.
flat out, bro.
How wild is it that fucking something like a track like that where it's like clearly a low point, right, can turn into such a high point for
That
somebody?
is turned around. It's completely
Yeah.
flipped.
Yeah,
Flip it and
because
reverse
that's
it,
such a high. Because like I don't know his personal mental
Yeah.
feeling about it, but seeing that many people enjoy something like when I dropped Surface, seeing a lot of
Yeah.
people respond to that and message me about it and all that kind of stuff, it turned this low point that I was having and this struggle that I was having into a high point.
Yeah,
It
that's
turned it into
beautiful.
like, this is what I do.
Yeah. And
This
that's
is
the
why I
beauty of
love
music,
it.
though, right? That's why we
Yeah.
do this shit.
Yeah.
This is why we do this
Yeah.
shit, man.
Because you never know what's going to hit. And then when
Nothing-
it does, you're like, oh,
nothing beats that feeling.
Even when it's one of your mates or whatever, if someone goes out of their way to fucking message you about a track that they really fucking
Means the
enjoy,
world.
it means everything.
I remember like
If you
hearing-
don't
what
feel
keeps you
nothing,
going.
you're a fucking stooge.
Huh?
If you're sitting there and
Listening to Bleed.
like, I know a few people that do it for clout, and I'm not gonna like elaborate anything.
we
more.
ain't here for
But
that.
like,
Yeah, we're not here to pick
I
on
know
people.
people that will do it for clout, but like,
Fuck 'em though.
you
You know
can
what I mean.
you can
We don't have to
see
name
when something like that actually fucking moves somebody. You know what I mean? Like actually moves. Like that's the whole reason why, fucking that's the whole reason why I love music, mate. You know what I mean? And I can say right now that all of us individually have used that as our therapy in a sense.
100%,
Like
yeah.
you've
To
used
debrief,
it,
to,
like,
like-
you know, to certain extremes, to this extreme, to that extreme. But like fucking, we do this for literally ourselves. It's just, it is selfless. Like a lot of people think it's very vain and fucking like, you know, all this sort of shit.
Those people are stupid.
Well, they don't
I
know-
think. I
Yeah.
think. I can't speak for every musician.
No, I understand that.
I can speak for myself, and I can probably speak for a few like-minded individuals that I know I've had this conversation with. But for me, it's a compulsion. You know, I can't not.
You couldn't
Yeah.
put it
Like
any
I have
better.
to write.
Yeah.
And I was talking to you before when we were getting out of the car on the way here.
Yeah.
I was like, we were talking about, you know, both of us have. You know, I got a missus and a kid. He's got a long-term missus been for a while. You know, there's restrictions. You can't play a show every weekend.
I'm
You got
about to
shit
go
on,
on
you
the
know what I mean?
pension.
Like,
Yeah, well,
he's his dad with two teenage kids.
It's not that they'll stop you. It's that
It's prioritizing
you're going
your
to
life.
feel a different vibe when you come home if you're doing shows and shit all the time. You know,
100%.
right?
And
So
yeah.
you can't just constantly work on music. You do have to actually make some time for your misses and all that kind of stuff.
100%. Yeah.
But
You've got to
It's-
come to an agreement.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
So, but I you know, and you know, when I knew Bob was coming along, me and Renee were talking because at the time
Yeah.
we were pumping
pumping.
FTS shows,
Like 2-3 a
just
month.
just before my Bob was
Fuck,
coming
we had
along.
our own bar, mate.
I remember you saying to me when I fucking saw you at a gig, like just after you, like just before you found your kid was coming.
Yeah.
You were like, oh, I'm gonna only be able to do 1 gig a month.
Yeah, I was
Right,
like,
and then
I'm
I'm pretty sure in the next 3 months I saw you at least 2 gigs a month.
While baby Raya was like the first, I'd say, 6 months. Up until she was about 6 months old, I'd be like trying to book him.
They'd be like, yeah,
I'd be like, oh. And like I'd say, like, oh, you know, like I've got
could
this,
just do hosting duties.
That's
Just
what
come
I
and host it and
That's
you
what
go
I
home.
did, bro. Like,
as if I'm going to go straight
Yeah.
home after a gig. That's
Come and host it, which is the one thing that takes all night.
yeah, that I can't just come in and do my set.
You know
and
what I
I'm
mean?
off. I'm there from one
Where's
to
the
end.
logic
You
of
know.
that?
oh fuck, we've had some good
But
fucking.
it's been
We've had
good.
some good nights.
But you know,
mate.
like the agreement was like, let's do one a month. You know what I mean? Like, but that's what I mean. Like for me, it's a compulsion. If I don't, and for me, like yes, I make music. I release music. I write poetry. I'm a wordsmith. I'm a writer. I think growing up as a kid with ADHD, being very out there and performative, you know, and that goes back to playing
Extrovert?
music and very extroverted guy. Performing has been the thing for me, right? So for a long time, I kind of focused on honing my stagecraft and my working the crowd, talking, interaction, banter,
What makes you a good
movement.
host.
You know, yeah, exactly, and that's
Bro,
why I
I'd
love
have him
hosting.
every week. I'd have
That's
him
why I
booked
love
every
hosting.
fucking week, bro. It wasn't even my gigs, and I'd be like, "Oh, dude, this guy needs a
host this.
host." Like fucking this, I'm like, "I'll fucking drive you, bro." And he's just like, "Oh, I've got this on." Nah, bro, we're going to fucking.
going there.
Where we going? Fucking
Merriwa.
Merriwa,
All the way down to
Shipping
bloody-
docks.
Oh,
Fucking,
Shipping Dock.
Oh, bro,
Oh,
everywhere.
all
everywhere.
over.
We're
Let's not
fucking-
get
that's
into
it, like-
Shipping Dock.
I'll just go pick him up. He'd be half fucking drunk, still like hair like this.
Sort my shit out. That's
And
what
I'd be
I-
like, "Hey, boom,
Come,
in the
get
car."
ready.
I'd take him. Swear to God.
Get dressed in the car.
Don't mention Ship and Doc around me, you piece of shit.
Bad time.
Yeah.
But, you know, like, it's that performing. So when I don't do that enough, you know, if you know, and that's what I said, like, one a month is good. This month I got 4.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
Bob's a bit older now. We can work around it. But you know what I mean? Like, if I don't get up on stage...
You just have to work harder during the week and then you're fine.
100, man, and just, you know, get those brownie points up. But, like, if I don't get it out, I start going loco, man. I start going a bit like loopy.
100%.
It's like blue balls for rap. You know what I mean? Like actually, funnily enough...
Well, it's all therapy,
Funnily enough, a project I'm working on with my mate
Brains
Rusty,
Akimbo.
Brains Akimbo, where it's in the works. It's going to be interesting. You guys, I hope you're going to like it. It's pretty out there.
Yeah.
But we got a track called Blue Brains.
Yeah.
And it's kind of about that. Like, if I don't get it out, if I don't write this down, if I don't record this track, if I don't get up on stage and spit this verse, you know what I mean? If this doesn't
sick.
come out of
You
me,
feel
I
physically
feel
sick.
physically sick.
Yeah.
And it hurts me. And it festers, and then I'm just a prick to live with, and I'm just a prick to be around.
Yeah.
I have to do this.
Turn into a fucking nightmare.
Exactly, and you know, my partner knows that. She
I get real
knows that if
fucking
I don't
aggressive
do
about
that,
it.
it's a bad time.
I turn into a total cunt, man.
Yeah.
Right.
You know,
Well,
and,
I can say, like, if I'm like, we've all been with our partners for a while.
Yeah.
We all work around our lifestyles and our what we love to do. Like, fuck, there's guys my age that just piss all their money up at the TAB.
Yeah.
Mate,
You
I
piss
like
all
it on
your
the
money
slap.
up on hip hop.
On
gigs.
hip hop. You know what I mean? Like,
look, there's worse hobbies.
oh,
You know what I mean? If you want to call it a hobby, right? If you want to look at it like a hobby, you know, there's worse things we could be doing. And when you
We
look
could
at
be
money,
smoking meth.
yeah, we could be out here on the shundi, bro.
glass bubbies.
Yeah. You know,
But like, at
the
least
old
you can say,
nose
look,
beers.
fucking, we've got this on, we've got that on. Like, it's not like we're going out and doing.
bad shit. We're
We
contributing.
ain't robbing
positive.
fucking banks, bro. You know what I mean? Like,
And it's positive, right? It's
Yeah.
all positive. And I think the beauty of Flytrap from the get-go, like taking it a little bit back to what we were talking about at the start, is
Yep.
that the whole idea was just, we were fans. Like, we were creators, right? But we were also, we started out as fans, and that's what inspired us to want to create, want to promote.
I think this is what made me get along with you guys so much, is because fucking I'm of the mind that even if I'm not doing gigs,
Yep.
any opportunity I can, I want to go to gigs.
Yeah, 100. I want
And
to
I
go
want to
support
enjoy it, and I
see
want
my
to be
people.
there and see
Yeah.
my. Like, I feel like this is my scene. I'm in it, you know. Like,
Put a
Community.
fuck ton on, eh?
yeah.
And it is a community.
And so because I think we're like-minded like that, it makes it more enjoyable when you do go, because it's
Yeah.
like, well, oh, how good's this new guy? How good's
Yeah.
this young guy coming up? How
And we'll
good's
go and
this
gas
guy?
him up after the
Yeah,
show
we
when
go
he gets
gas-
off stage.
yeah,
like,
fucking
bruv,
well
that was
done,
sick.
brother, you know?
What's your name? Show me your
Course,
socials, man.
course.
Absolutely, and that's what the scene's all
put
about.
you on,
and
you know?
the
Yeah.
thing is, what quite often happens is people start to forget that,
Yeah.
and then that's when they'll actually. Sorry to say, guys, that's when you're going to start to fall off.
Yeah.
Because when you start fucking forgetting where you come from, forgetting about the scene, forgetting about like promoting the scene and all that kind of stuff, people are going to start to forget about you.
You got to keep it grassroots, man.
Well,
Yeah, it's-
on that note, like, from putting on the gigs and stuff like that, I've had a lot of people hit me up, and sometimes it's very odd. Like, I've said it to Skulka before after a few bavundas, you know, I'm like, why do these people, who do these people think I am? Like, you know what I mean? Like, I'm just like, I book the venue, I get a graphic designer to make the poster, I put my mates on, I've got a fucking list of messages in my iMessage or whatever call, and as soon as I go down, I put every person
Yeah,
on.
and we
You know what
bang
I
it
mean?
out,
Like,
and we put
I've
out
literally got a
event page.
spreadsheet of
Yeah.
every single rapper that has fucking hit me up.
Yeah.
And whether there's beef, whether there's this, whether there's that, I still put them on. Now, I've gone through that list, and people still break my balls. Now, it's not the fact that, like, if I could put on a gig every fucking single night, I bloody would,
And
mate.
we fucking could.
I bloody
If
would,
we had a
mate.
venue,
If we had a venue, but look, even if we don't,
But what also,
venues hit us up.
yeah, but what also fucking like basically grabs my cannolis is that like fucking Minky, bro. Like I'm looking at the cameras now, bro. Like you want a gig? Come to a fucking gig, mate. You know what I mean? Like I've done shows with fucking 5
Truer
people.
words were never spoken.
With fucking 5 people, batch. Right? I've done shows with 5 people.
mate, we've all played
And
sets.
guess
to the
what?
soundtrack.
Guess what?
Yeah, but I've
Me
done
and Skulka get a lot of gigs through this cunt, and I guarantee you we were one of the 5 people there.
Yeah, pretty much.
Oh, 100%.
Look.
Wait, 100%. But I'm telling you right now, like fucking, Like, you want a gig, come to a gig. But because, like, I can't keep putting on gigs if nobody come.
It's true.
Yeah.
It costs money, man. And the whole idea
You know?
is we're not out here to make money. We're out here to break even and have a good fucking time.
Look here, right?
Keep going, boys.
Look here. You need to go take a piss.
No, I need to sort out cameras.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
So look here. So gigs, right? We have fucking probably hundreds of rappers in Perth.
Yeah.
Hundreds of them.
Easy.
Right? And this is one thing I actually talked about to people when you remember the complete video?
Yeah, that was
the rise
that
of
was
the
a
WAC.
good ass
That was
We had
cool.
every single member of Fly Trap on that.
That
Yeah,
was
man,
fucking
we
sick.
were all there.
That was fucking sick, right? But one thing I talked with people there about was like, if all these people, every one of these rappers here, and that's not even the entire rap scene in Perth. That's
Just a
not even
snippet.
close.
100%.
That's just a chunk of them, right? If everybody in Perth supported each other, we would never not have a sold out show,
100%.
100%.
right? And if that costs you fucking $10, just
Man,
support.
how much, like,
you know.
honest, it's
And
so cool.
I
Hip-hop, man.
sound like I'm being bitter and fucking.
No,
you
you're
don't
not.
come to my shows, I go to yours, whatever. I sound like I'm being a dick, but I'm just saying, if you fucking support other people, they're gonna support you, and that's how the fucking thing works.
Jay,
I'll tell you who's one that's really good at that, right?
Let me just squash this right now. How many shows do I go to a week at my age and for the last, 3, 4 years? I'm at least out three nights
a week.
Minimum.
If he's not spinning one.
If I'm not spinning one,
so
or,
like it'll be like this. It'll be like most weeks. It'll be like I'm spinning something.
or I'm comedy, or it's this, or it's that.
Yeah, like you'll either be DJing at something, promoting another, and then just going to rock up and network for the third.
Yep.
Every week, pretty much every week.
Yeah, every week.
Right. And fuck, I was doing it with you for a couple of years.
Yeah, 100%.
You know, till kiddo come along, and then and new job and all that kind of thing. Life gets in the
Fucked
way.
everything.
Fucking child. No, like, shout outs. I love her to bits, and I love my job too. But you know what I mean? Like there's
We have to work around that shit.
it's called adulthood, man. It sucks. I'm
Yeah.
not gonna lie. But hey,
Well, hopefully this podcast blows up, and
Yeah,
then
man.
we don't ever have to do that shit.
we don't
again.
have to work again.
And it gives a fuck if it is, man. I'll sit here and talk shit with you all day.
Yeah.
Yeah, my bar.
100%.
Literally-
This is just what we do in my
This is what we
backyard
do in his
anyway.
backyard anyway,
Just
bro.
put mics in front of us.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey, honestly, man, like people that know me are like, oh yeah, that cunt can talk.
Yeah.
Like that's why I chose hip hop. I played guitar. And I struggled back in the day. I used to be into like rock and blues and punk. I still am. Still into all that shit, right?
He's a mod.
But before I
He's
oh,
a mod.
yeah, rude boy.
He's
Rude
a
boy,
mod.
Represent, rude boy. Anyway,
All right,
pick it up.
Hang on a sec. You two talk between each other. I need to go take a piss.
He's gonna take a piss.
Right back.
We'll go back to that. But what I was saying is like, well, back in the day when I was trying to write song lyrics, right?
Yeah.
When I was like composing chord progressions and stuff on the
You used to do
guitar.
the sloppy sesh.
Yeah, I was doing it. Well, that was the covers. That came later, right? But way back, I'm talking like when I was a kid, and I'd try and write songs, singy songs.
Yeah.
You look at a song in a verse. So generally a verse of a song, that's generally speaking.
Yep.
You got your formula. It's like 16 bars.
Yeah, of course.
In a non-hip hop track, something that doesn't involve rap in it, in that 16 bars, you might only sing like 8 sentences. Because there's gaps. You're singing.
Yes. So
You're not-
basically,
you're
so
not
you're talking about more the timing of
Yeah.
like say vocal.
How many words?
Yeah, that you
How
can
much
fit in those
meaning?
bars.
So, like, if you're putting like 8 bars or 6 bars, into that 16 bar situation,
Into
of
Latavo.
actual, sorry,
Yeah.
of actual words,
Yep.
the amount that you can convey is limited.
100%. Yeah.
Unless you're just the best writer ever and you can just do one sentence that just could be open to so much interpretation. But with hip hop, it's different. And I think it was like Open Mike Eagle, right? I'm a big fan of Open Mike Eagle. He's a sick rapper, alternative guy. I think he's West Coast, USA. Pretty sure he's on Stone's Throw Records. Pretty sure it's Stone's Throw, maybe Rhyme says. Anyway, dude's a gun. He had a quote where he was like, in one of his tracks, and he said about, I'm paraphrasing right now, but he said, like, in 1/16, he raps the same amount of words, right, as in a whole Beatles album.
Minka.
He locked himself out. You get the door? We're still learning how to work this shit.
Bear trap, boy.
What's the code? Bear
This
trap,
is fucking
motherfucker.
funny.
But you know what I mean? Like in 116, this cat rapped the same amount of words as what would literally be the word count for an entire like 12-track album, right? Here he comes. Oh, tag team. He's going Pishati too. Shut the door. Big one. Boom. But that's the thing. So as a rapper, you have so much more ability in a small space to put so much more meaning and content within that space. And I always found it difficult to write songs as a singer.
Are we
in
talking
like a
about
rock.
the reason why you write rap lyrics as
Yeah,
opposed to
like I always struggled, and then I kind of discovered hip hop in my 10, 11, 12, like Beastie Boys. I remember back in there it was like Beasties, Tupac, shit like that. Is there any JMOs left? Probably smashed them. Chuck's one of them. Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir. But you know what I mean? Like I discovered all these guys, and it just opened up a whole world for me. I'm like, hold the phone. You don't have to try and put all this meaning. You know, I was saying to Luigi before, is like most rock songs or ballads, you know, non-hip hop, non-rap type things, you might have 6 bars worth of words in a 16-bar verse. Right? And unless you're Bob Dylan, you're not going to convey as much meaning in that space as you could if you rapped
Yeah,
it.
see, with other genres and stuff, they convey a lot of the meaning through the use of instruments and the use of...
and the general
actual
atmosphere,
lyrics
right?
themselves. A lot of songs, if you actually look at their lyrics, compared to rap music, it's just dog shit. The lyrics themselves are nothing, but with the backing track behind them, the band, the everything, they mean just as much, if not more, right? Whereas in rap, it's all about the lyrics. Not all about the lyrics. The
Not
beat
all,
has to
but
be
yeah.
dope too. But because you're rapping and you're putting a lot of lyrics into a really short period of time, you're going to be able to express things that
You can do a whole narrative in
you
that
can be
16.
super specific if you want.
Yeah.
Right? And that's where some of the dopest are best at is they can really make you picture what the fuck
Think
they're
about
talking
like,
about.
okay, this is one for the old salty heads that everyone always champions, right? Is like I just had a fucking mind blank. What's that? It's that Nicaraguan guy everyone loves. Cocaine from Bolivia or whatever.
No idea.
Immortal Technique.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
Isn't he?
Right.
I thought he's Cuban.
Is he? No. He's Latino.
Nika.
We're gonna get roasted for this shit. They'll be
Yeah,
like,
of course.
is he Mexican? It could be. No. Anyway.
Bugging out on this beat, Immortal Technique.
Immortal
Underground
Technique.
rapper, if anyone will accept me. This is started no biggie.
Yeah, no biggie.
But like, you know, to create an entire storyline within 16 bars and then have a chorus and then go into a different narrative in the next one. You can't do that when you're singing. And I think because of my mind, because of how busy it is up here and how much I want to say in it, the thing that attracted me to rap was I can say so much in a short space. And I already think quick and talk quick. And that format really drew me in.
Very, very, very fucking elaborate.
It is, yeah, and it really drew me in. So, that, you know,
the
so
style,
I,
mate.
for a while, even though I was still listening to those other styles of music, it kind of faded away a little bit. I got one here. I'm good.
Sorry.
You know what I mean? It kind of took a bit of a back seat with the instrumentation and those kind of things. The lyricism kind of came to the forefront. I think now that I'm a bit older and I'm a bit more.
You want to start mixing the two?
I want to start mixing things up, and that's kind of what I'm trying to do with my mate Rusty. Shout outs to Rusty.
Rusty.
Yep. We're working on a project at the moment called Brains Akimbo. Is the title of the group, the band.
Yeah, when it's released, we'll probably put the link in the YouTube.
Yeah,
video.
we'll put some. Nothing's released yet.
Yeah. So once you actually release
That
the
one died, by
project,
the way.
Yeah, it's fine. We've still got the.
We
other
still
one
rolling.
we're down to one camera now, guys.
Nah, SD card full.
That's all right.
It's all right. Hey, bruv, this is our first podcast. We're just going to go probably for another, let's just say 10.
Yep.
I'm going to give this good thing a fucking edit crack myself.
Yep.
And
See how it goes.
That's cool, man.
Yeah. But
Honestly,
I'm
I've
also
had a lot of fun.
Yeah, I'm going to chop this up edit-wise. So we're going to do a full audio as well as film.
Let's not talk about the post-production shit while we still have
Yes,
Yeah.
power.
Yeah.
Power.
No, well, we're relying on.
So we'll keep it on.
We're relying
content.
on fucking drop bears, fucking
Phone from not
phone
dying.
for right now.
But like
But I will.
yeah,
I will invest.
But yeah, Brains Akimbo. So we're both kind of middle-aged heads that are both very eclectic in our music. Both have done hip hop. Both grew up playing in bands, into a lot of shit. He's a Maori guy. He's right into his reggae. I grew up listening to reggae. I'm a big fucking like ska, rude boy,
Fat
guy,
Freddy's drop.
all that
Gross.
shit. So we mixed all that together. Wait until you hear it. Wait until you just haven't heard the
When
right
I hear
reggae.
it, when I hear it, maybe.
You just haven't heard the right
We'll
reggae.
see. Yeah.
But so it's a mix. So we got like it's a real eclectic mix. So it's a bit nostalgic, like a bit of a. We found all of our favourite things and then put our little spin on it. So there's
These
a lot
are a
of drum
few
and bass.
of my favorite things.
Yeah, 100%. We should sample that too. But there's drum and bass. There's breakbeat. There's trip hop. There's hip hop. There's a little bit of fucking punk rock in there. You know what I mean? It's a big mishmash and it's a lot of fun. But like again with that, we're trying to kind of meld all of that together rather than just siloing things and being like, okay, this is my punk project, this is my hip hop project.
Right.
I think now, as a culture, with popular culture and music,
Hip
the
hop
way
is
that
so
we're living in
diverse
now,
now
it's
that
so
it
diverse,
doesn't matter.
and everything is. I
Yeah.
think now, I was quite. I think
Even
I had
pop
that,
music's pretty diverse now. It's got like
100
drum and bass and shit in it.
Yeah, like my mate said this to me a few years ago, and I was like, you're full of shit. You're Gen X, right? We're both like millennials, so to speak. But I
Yeah.
think when we were growing up, there was
Millennial
this camp.
pieces of
Yeah,
shit.
just absolute dickheads with their avocado toast. Never buy a house.
What are you
Never
talking
get a
about?
house.
What are you talking about?
But like, we were very much about tribes, right? Growing up, like, oh, you were a skatey, you're a surfy, you're a bogan, you're a what we used to get.
You're a
what I
rat.
used to get hit was
I'm a
wigger.
walkie.
What that
I used
also,
to get
by
hit
the
with
way,
wigger, and I was like, that's
also,
fucked up.
by
Don't
the
call me
way,
that.
something I'd like to address, right, is the thing with the Eshe culture and stuff. When we were growing up, they were either train rats or deros
or graph
right?
riders,
or graph riders,
literally, like
or graph rat.
graph rats, man.
Yeah.
That was me.
Yeah, no, but that's the thing. Because of over east, they have this culture of like fucking
Adelaide,
Eshe,
lads.
Adelaide, Eshe,
And that
Adelaide.
came from the searchers
No,
again.
no.
If you go further back,
No,
They were
but
the
there's
searchers, it was
but
just
there's even
crims.
people that grew up as graph rats now,
Yeah.
calling themselves Eshes in fucking WA.
Yeah, 'cause they've kind of jumped on
They've
it.
jumped on it because they're like, yeah, we've got a
Like,
culture.
oh, that's my
The
steez.
culture already existed, man. There was
Low
just
lifes,
different
mate.
names for it.
Like low lifes. Like if we're talking polo.
Let me
like
just-
all these motherfuckers wearing their
Let
polo.
me just interject
like,
in all this sort of thing, mate. What they're wearing fucking
Just
baggy.
tribes.
They're wearing baggy pants. They're wearing fucking hats. They're wearing bum bags. Motherfucker, I've been doing that since '94.
Yeah.
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 I'm no fucking Eshe. If they got their own culture for fucking, if they got their own culture in Australia for their thing, good on them.
Yeah.
But like, what are you gonna call me, a 41-year-old Eshe? Because like,
I've met
Oh
a
look,
couple.
look, I've got,
no,
I've
but
got.
I've got shoes. I've got shoes older than these motherfuckers, mate. You know
This
what I
guy
mean? Like,
still rocks tailwinds. What are you talking
what are you
about?
talking about, mate? Like,
Jarwins.
I've still got Reebok Royales, motherfucker. You know what I mean? Like,
Look.
I got champions. I actually got
Bro,
Colorado.
you're that old. You probably had a pair of
No,
fucking
and look,
British
look,
Knights.
I
Dude, I had BK Knights, my bar.
I think we're
I
missing.
had BK Knights, my bar. I'm
They're
telling you
dope.
right now. And I even had the fucking tag still hanging off the side.
course you
Bunch. Starter hat. Is it a starter hat? You
Yeah, it's the
pump
starter
it.
hat.
You flip it. You strip it. Mate, come on, Jesse Jeff had that shit, bro. You
Look,
know what I mean? Like,
so-
Shay. Fun, cool little
I think we're
Eshe,
missing
man,
the
eh?
point of what I was trying to talk about.
Sorry.
What I was trying to talk
My
about
bad.
wasn't that fucking I have anything against people being fucking Eshe, whatever.
No.
If you're Eshe,
Life.
fucking go for
Yeah,
it. And
cuts
even
it.
nowadays, young kids in WA, if they want to be fucking Eshe, whatever. What fucking spins me out is cunts who are like fucking 30 that were graph rats or train rats or fucking
Yeah.
deros before. Now they're like, I'm an Eshe. And I'm like, hang on, bro. You've
You're
been the
cooked.
same way this whole time.
You're cooked.
You haven't changed.
All it is now they've got a title that's
Yeah.
like culturally known.
Yeah. And
Back
they're
in the
like,
day-
Identify their identity.
Back in the day, do you know what they called them before Eshes? Criminals,
deros.
vandals.
Yes.
Yeah.
Deros.
Yeah,
Generals.
Deros.
Yeah.
And you know what?
When
You
I
know
was a
why?
kid, it was just deros.
But who gives a shit? You know what I mean? Like we were out there. I was out there bombing walls, being a little shit.
And don't get me wrong, when I was a teenager, I was fucking one of them.
everything that I could. You know what I mean? And I used to covet my bloody. Oh mate, if I got a polo like Ralph Lauren shirt, woo! I go op shopping.
Lacoste.
Mate. I couldn't afford that shit.
Was it
We'd try and
Lacoste,
we'd rack it.
Polo,
We'd either rack it from
Nautica?
Myers or we'd run the fucking. We'd go and like
But
Troll through the op shops,
It was
mate.
Lacoste. It was fucking Nautica.
yeah.
It was
Nautica was the big one. Nautica was the big
It
one.
was Cross Colours.
Mate, Cross Colours has taken it back.
It was just all about Nike.
It was Starter.
See, with Nike,
about
yeah.
Nike.
That was yeah.
And it was about your team. So, like, let's say, for instance...
Oh, yeah, but you're a wog, so it's different.
No, but, like... No, I'm talking about back in the day, right? Like, if you saw some motherfucker with, like, a Chicago Bulls jumper on and then, like, a San Jose Sharks hat on...
Rolling?
You're like, you're a fuckhead.
You're a flog. What are you doing?
What do you support? Like, fucking ice hockey or fucking basketball, dickhead?
Well, you can do both.
Nah.
But again, on
You're allowed to
estos.
do both.
In Australia, come on, back in the day...
Nobody supported either
We
of them.
did not even have internet, motherfucker.
Back in the
We-
day,
Back in the day,
You
nobody
couldn't even
supported.
see a fucking NHL game if you wanted to, bro.
Yeah.
That wasn't even on SBS at 3 in the morning, bro. What are you talking about?
You know, like you couldn't, you could not, like unless
Fuck,
you're
you're an old cunt, eh?
unless your cousin
Old
or some
cunt.
shit, right?
Old cunt.
But it's
Unless
funny,
your
it's-
cousin from Boise, Idaho, could record it on his VHS and then send it to you via mail, and you got it 3 weeks later. You could get the New Jersey Devils against the fucking Maple Leafs and then watch it 3 weeks later. But other than that, you got fuck all, mate.
I quickly apologize. I'm pretty sure it's Boise, Indiana, but that's cool.
Boise, Idaho.
Is it Idaho or Indiana?
Yeah. Boise, Idaho.
This isn't a geography
no.
podcast, but still.
Hey,
No,
Tell me if we're right in the
Let
comments.
us know in the
I've got
comments.
Tell me
cousins.
who's right in the
Wait,
comments.
mate, I've got cousins here. Don't worry about it.
Ah, cool.
Boise, Idaho. Let's have a look.
Your cousin's are going to...
You got cousins everywhere,
I
right?
got
Of
fucking,
course he does.
yeah, I've got cousins everywhere. But yeah, Boise.
Breathe like rabbits.
Oh, let's have a look.
I'm
gonna-
going to Google it up. But yeah,
While we got a little bit of time left,
Yeah.
I want you to do a bit of plugging. What are you plugging?
bit of plugging at the moment.
Bit of plugging.
All right, cool. So
Fucking
yeah, like
plug
I said, keep an eye out. We're working on the mixes at the moment. We've recorded most of the content for
Idaho.
It is Idaho. There you go. Sorry, I went to Indiana. I take it back.
Fucking Cajun
mate.
cunt.
Put me on a dog. On me. So yeah, at the moment, so I'm just working with Russ at the moment on this Brains Akimbo project, which is going to be pretty wild. Bit of alternative hip hop,
Fringe?
mishmash. That's coming out in the next couple of months.
Fringe
Then
is the 4th.
at the moment, in the immediate future, next Saturday, I'm playing Mad Fapomania.
So let's see if
Fap
Mission
to
can
the
edit
future.
this fast enough.
Oh, fucking will.
Yes, that'll be fun. So basically, that'll be me. Yeah, if this gets out fast enough, you'll see it. I'm taking
Oof,
part
that's
in.
big.
It's a big call,
Comedians
right?
versus rappers.
No, well, Comedians vs Rappers is following up. I just
Yep.
did Comedians vs Rappers last night.
Who was on?
So
last
that
night?
was myself, Bluntfield, and Max Shane.
He's a
So I was going up against two freestyle guns. I haven't done CVR in quite some time. I've just been working on my pen game and actually
What were the
writing tracks.
comedians?
The comedians, oh dude, I can't remember their names. They were great. They were pretty good.
Was it Janelle? Janelle was on?
No, Janelle wasn't on. It was 3 guys that I only just met.
Teacher
that new
pedophile
guys.
guy?
No. I mean Delby.
Yeah. No, not Delby. Delby's
He's a teacher, ex-teacher.
No, he's got this like man bum with a fucking really high fucking. I saw him. I saw him
Teacher
over.
pedophile guy.
No, look.
But still-
No, dude, like,
Sorry,
dude,
Delbs.
look. Nah, Delby's a G.
I love that motherfucker.
Fucking
yeah.
Hard Yarns.
That was a roast,
Shout out
mate.
the Hard
That was
Yarns
a
podcast,
roast.
right?
Yeah, fucking oath. Hard Yarns is
No,
off
he's
the
got
chain.
like it's. I cannot explain it. Like during WA Comedy Week from Ronan and Colin and that, he did the roast and he had like this fucking hair bun, fucking.
Oh, no, it wasn't that cat.
Yeah, it wasn't that cat.
There was 2 guys there.
Delby's a fucking G. Delby can spit rhymes, bro.
Bro, I still do.
Delby
When
can
every time,
spit.
check out
He
Comedians
came to
versus
SAE.
Rappers.
He came to SAE,
Yeah.
bro, and I was in the fucking booth with fucking Bluntfield. Actually, I was doing Bartle Do. The first demo for Bartle Do for Ash, and fucking Delby came through and shit. And this is before he started doing comedy full time. He can spit that boy.
100%.
Fuck
And
me, he
every
can spit.
time I do CVR and he's there, so just
burn ya.
for those out there, have a listen, have a check out for CVR. It runs out of Fringe too, so they do a lot of shows during Fringe, but throughout the year they do a few as well that are just at the Comedy Lounge, and they're good. But like
Mad
Delby,
Fat, they always do some wild shit where they have
yeah.
some
Well,
like.
Mad Fat's like ADHD as fuck, so that's what I'm doing next Saturday.
Yeah.
But like
They
just
do
just as a
some like
side note,
fucking burlesque shit and fucking.
I'm
all sorts of
calling
shit.
Delby out right now. You do a show about freestyle rap. So yes, you're a comedian first and a rapper second, but you're that good at freestyle rap and making all of everyone
100.
else piss. How about you come over to the rapper team once in a while, bruv?
Yeah.
Come and represent the rap side.
Why are we
Dogs?
giving you
Yeah,
views?
you dog.
Why are
Because
we
you're
giving
always
you
on the
views?
other time giving us shit. How about you come over
can
here and be a
spit,
rap
boy,
team?
eh?
Because he can fucking bar out and he can free.
Yeah,
so
dude.
Delby, I've said it to you in person at shows. I'm calling you out on the public.
Delby.
record.
What's his name? Delby.
This one here. You
Delby.
fucker.
Was
I
it
love you, bruv.
Delby?
Yeah.
Delby.
Rap team.
We want you.
We want you, bro.
Come on. FTS
You
on
better
you.
come and do
a little rappy for me, boy.
Yeah.
But big boy.
I'll out rap you.
All right, we
sleep.
got about 5 minutes.
We
left,
gotta wrap
boys.
this shit up. But like what were we talking about other than that?
We could
We
sit
could just
here
do this
for
all
fucking
fucking
hours,
day.
mate.
Yeah, we could. We could.
We are going
But
to
my
Jason's
phone is
house
gonna
and drink a
die.
piss. So
100. Back to Balga.
back to Belga.
6 to the O, 6 to the 1. It's the home. If you want to hear a little snippet, you want to hear something fucking hilarious, here we go. Just to the listeners out there, you want to hear something funny, you want to hear our Skulka, the first recorded shit out of high school parties.
Yep.
I was doing high school parties. My mate was a DJ. We recorded some crap on a little fucking webcam microphone back in the day. Shout out to Josh Rao, DJ Bufu. I'll up in this motherfucker. Buy us, fuck
Shout
you. Yeah,
out
DJ
Josh
Bufu.
Rao.
Buy us, fuck you. You remember fucking
Yeah.
How High?
That was How High, yeah.
Anyway, so shout outs to you, man. Love you, brother. That was where I got my spark. But I mean, years later, I started hanging out with Coerce when he was just a wee grom. He was like 17 years old. We recorded a track with Strez's. Shout out to Strez with Strez's Behringer and his little what do you call it? The little wasn't even Sapphire. You know, your little interface situation. You know what I mean? Like poxy little, a couple $100 setup.
Yeah.
In my old house in Balga. Yeah, he brought the setup round. We recorded on his laptop. Rochester Circle back in the day in fucking Balga. And
Shout out to Rochester Circle.
It's my ode to Balga.
Shout out Strez.
It's
Bad
still up.
sticks back in the day.
It's $30 sticks that were probably sprayed with fly spray.
Go away.
There's a bar about it.
We
in
actually
that song.
tried to make it. We were looking at making a song called $30 Sticks about how bad they were a long time ago.
Mate, I've got
Shout out
plenty
White
to say
Ties,
about
Montrose
that.
Ave.
If you want some input, I'll consult. Plenty to say.
We also did an $80 hole. $80 hole.
So Home of the Grass Trees, it's on SoundCloud.
This one here,
it's
this one
still
here.
up there. It's super cringe. Have a laugh. If it goes viral, I don't give a fuck. It's hilarious. Why not? But it's hilarious. Home of the Grass Trees. Home of the Glassings. Paid $30 to get stoned on some parsley.
Oh,
Bro, we get nasty. This is the only place where Fruity Lexia is classy.
that's dope.
6 to the
Fucking
O.
That's actually not bad.
Welcome to Balga, motherfucker.
Welcome to
Let's
Balga,
go.
bro. Hey, look, man, it made me the man I am today. And,
Speaking of, I've got a song called
I'm a
Balga to
shell
Bristol.
of a man.
up front.
Balga to Bristol.
Balga to Bristol's a fucking
That's a
banger, by the
dope
way.
joint, bro.
I love that joint.
Split profits, my bar. That was fucking
that was-
man.
yeah. Shout out Upfront MC. He was a fucking real G about it. His
Yeah,
name
sick.
fucking hit him
Nah,
up
you
for
gotta
his
represent. You gotta represent the 606 one, man. It's a wild little place to live.
Yeah. Oh, some wild shit happens. We're
man.
actually in a little bit of a quiet area of Balga, and like a lot of the time, not much happens and
Yeah.
stuff. It's just when you like, I
when
run
you go down
out
to
of
Primo
durries.
Shops.
I run out of durries late at night.
The Garlets where we used to get our fucking shund and all that sort of shit from.
I run out of durries like late at night, and I go to get durries at the fucking servo, and fuck some of the shit you see. My missus, like, she won't drive me down there.
She's like, no.
No, she'll drive me down there, but she'll
then lock
she'll
the door
lock the
straight
door
away.
as
Yeah,
soon as I
100.
get out.
Don't blame
And
her.
she's just like, if I'm not quick enough, she'll just fucking drive.
And you
like,
gotta hoof it back
she's
to the
just-
house.
Yeah, no, but no, I don't give a fuck.
No, it's
Doesn't
around the
bother
corner.
me.
You'll be right. You throw down.
This
What about
is
that?
my area now. I live here.
Yeah.
This is my area now. Like, you know what I mean? Like, if someone kicks off me, I don't give a fuck. But
Yeah,
she
fuck 'em.
stresses out about it, you
of course.
know?
man.
And to be honest, like, if you carry that kind of confidence, people generally leave you alone.
Mate, 100%. The only reason I used
And
to
they're
get
actually, most people in Balga are actually really good people.
100%. No,
I
they
would
are.
highly recommend living in Balga.
No, I
honestly.
got nothing against it, man. Like
I walk down the street. I've lived in rich areas. I've lived in poor areas, and there's been not an area that I've lived in where I walk down the street and go, "Hey, how you going?" to people, and more people respond in a positive manner.
How you going, champ? You know what I
Right.
mean? Like, it's a sense of community. There's
Hey, you know,
one
mate,
thing
yeah.
about it, man.
Fucking stand.
It's that hood mentality, man. We are in it together. We're all
Yeah.
we're all just doing the do.
Yeah,
You
and
know what I
there's
mean?
a
Like, we
couple
don't give
of
a
there's a
fuck.
couple of outliers that just run
Yeah.
amok, but yeah,
You're gonna get them everywhere, though.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean? Like,
better than
if you live in a rich area, people from Balga are gonna come rob you.
Hey, at
so
least
no matter
it's
where
north,
you go, you gotta cop it. You know
at
what
least
I'm
it's
saying?
north of the river. And on that note, we got to end this
Alright,
podcast.
hey,
Hey.
gets out of here.
Nah,
Hey,
look,
thank
look,
you all
look,
so
look.
much. Thanks for having us, dude.
No, look,
That's been awesome.
Just like to say thank you very much for our first podcast. Look, we're still learning. We're still getting through it.
Man,
you're going to
it's
see
good.
a
Just
lot
bear with
more.
us.
You're going to see a lot fucking more.
Bear
of
with
boy,
us.
Yeah.
Right, with the Bear Trap podcast. Drop Bear, Lucien Black, Fly Trap Studios.
Bear with us.
All day.
Love
Bear
you.
with us. Was that a fucking pun?
Yeah, it was intended. Hey, man, don't be a pussy. Intend your puns. Stand by your puns. It was no pun intended shit. Oh, no pun intended.
Hey, my brother,
no
once
respect
again,
for you, mate.
hey, once
I
again,
intended every single part of them.
thank you for coming.
Thank you. Peace.
Thank you, brother.
Much appreciated.
Good night.
Peace the fuck out.
Ciao, ciao. I'd like to thank our sponsors, Kroc-D,
Kroc-D.
Fly Trap Studios, Wrecking Crew.
How do you spell Kroc-D? Ready?
K apostrophes. Is that what it's called?
Jesus Christ. Read it.
No.
K R
O C D apostrophes D's.
No.
All right, look, I'll put the link in
Hyphen D.
Oh, wait, hyphens. I'll put the fucking link in the thing, all right?
Well, this is the best way to end.
English is not his first language, guys. Give the cunt a break.
Okay.
You've been listening to the Bear Trap Podcast featuring Lucien Black and Drop Bear.
What's it called? Is it called the hyphens or what's it called?
It's a hyphen.
Oh, hyphens. All right. Look, I'm all right. All right? Fuck you.